of Havana Woody. Boom, let's make some money, baby. Absolutely. Shout out to Havana. Pumped about that. Kalua, sup. Good morning, folks. Good morning to you as well. 1 hour left in this time zone anyway for the morning. We're going to wait for more of the viewers, Joseph, to head on over from the other stream. Took in a little bit longer today. Oh, pack our patience there. Lots to talk about. 4 triple-digit winners in small cap gapper lane. We'll talk about those in a hot second. There we go. We got my man Covalence coming out of grade 11 chemistry. We got David Clark and Adair. Shout out to Charlie Taffin, Andrew Chow. We got Zabo, Mr. Longshorts, and El Sols. Shout out to Richard Peterson and Maxi Jr. Trader forever, as opposed to temporarily, of course. Felipe Lopez and Kristen Norman, officially unburdened, my favorite dude in the chat. We got Pilot Josh, who was watching football yesterday. We got Vin. We even have Joseph, who's made it onto his own show today. Mark Susi, Tim Snyder. Big Spile in the house already, probably pleased that the ES just went red. We got Bax. We got Beantown Patriot. Shout out to Crypto FOMO. Shout out to Nessa and the OG Darwin. Cody Duggins. I was about to say Huggins. We got Every. We got Alvaro Mario Sosa, as well as Sarah Bredet. Now, Kyle, we got Sarah Bredet in the house. Oh. I don't know if you're gonna be okay with that. Last time I used your moniker Big with somebody else, it really disappointed you, and you actually invited that person to fight. Bitcoin Trader TV, we got Juan Wick and Eclectic Passions, and shout out to Mary S. Lyman. Joseph, good morning, my man.
Good morning, my brother. How was your evening?
It was good. Hopefully this evening is even better.
Oh, we got a little party to go to.
We got the house party, up in Markham. Should be like all the high school, the university clan, everything like that. Yourself?
That's good time. No, dude, I'm just relaxing, making lasagna. Yeah, exactly. You know what, guys? I'm going to be totally frank on this front. I'm feeling FOMO and ROMO to the fullest here. My friends are in Mexico partying. It's been a tradition of ours for years. They're going to be calling me, sending me videos, just rubbing it in a little bit there. But, I mean, sure enough, I had to post on my Snap all the previous years that we had to go together. So just a little backstory before we get into the lesson of the day. Met a bunch of friends from Dallas, Texas, and then we've been going together.
You can just send those people the videos and the pictures of Jamaica.
Yeah. Well, some of them are going to be there too. So yeah, it's not going to be as good to rub it back into their face. But yeah, we'll be over there in Jamaica in February, there, folks. But guys,
he's already doing it.
He's already at it. There can only be one big one. Also notice that the false big profit ain't here no mo. Whoa. Okay.
Shots fired just to start the show. We're already getting controversial, Joseph. So I'm just going to show the small cap gappers I've got on the side chart.
Before we get
and then we got a hell of a lesson, obviously. Joseph dropping options today. All right, here we go, guys. BDMD, the big boy winner on the day. We're already up 594%. We're knocking the door of $8 and 600%. You bet your bottom dollar I will be looking at this one. We'll keep an eye on it. Multiple halter as well. ONCO, another big boy mover, 267%, retracing now back into that $1.50. I'm all eyes. HOLO, a holdover from yesterday, just broke down below VWAP. This is going to have to get above 8 for me to get interested. FLYE, not the biggest dollar winner on the day, but it's up 104% and it's above VWAP, so it's aces in my book. APM, 315%, looking to take 6 again, above VWAP, certainly playable under my system. And VRME, another triple-digit winner, Joseph, 113%. Sadly, though, breaking down below VWAP, we're going to have to wait for this one to reclaim a level. BREA is obviously kind of a V-shaped retracement right back down below $1. And last, but certainly not least, I had Nikola. I was going to take this on VWAP, and then the bottom dropped off Nikola, so that will probably be losing its spot on the side chart. Lots to talk about today, guys, not the least of which is the lesson we got coming up. We got a great one for you. Options.
Oh, there we go.
She was, okay, so I was worried a little bit that she was trying to troll me. She was going to, go, you fine, do me dirty. No,
Yeah, you got
she had some ideas.
She got some good ideas. Call me Cicero. I'm pretty sure
okay.
he's Italian, though. I'm pretty sure he's from Rome, right?
Is he?
Yeah, he's
okay. I didn't know that.
Cicero is.
All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I
But
just know
I like
the
Cicero.
three Greek philosophers. You got Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle. I don't know which one I'd go for there.
Socrates?
I love how you just whisper. I go Plato.
Plato?
I like Plato's allegory of the cave. Anybody who read that is super interesting.
Call me Cicero from now on.
I like it.
Yeah, I like
All
that.
right, what do we got, Joseph?
Okay, guys, we're gonna hop into some Greeks. Ramin already spoiled the party on this one, so I was gonna pop it up here. We like this, and there we go. We got Cicero and Plato right here, folks.
Joseph, your buddy Greg just dropped a $20 super chat.
No,
we gotta take
holler at him. Yeah, hit it. What is he?
Gregory.
Gregory.
All right, we're just spending the money. He says for Joseph's pity fund.
Oh
you
my
have to interrupt the lesson for that.
Yeah, you have to, Greg, man. You know what? I DM you later, brother. Much appreciated for that. I'm sure you're putting in a monster session. Happy New Year to you and the family, most definitely. So I hope you guys have a good one. I know you'll be enjoying a couple neats this evening. There's no doubt about that, guys. A couple on the rocks are neat. I think he likes it neat. So fancy guy,
you
Greg.
Like how she went into the lesson to change the picture?
Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, my good buddy Greg, thank you much. Love, brother, as always. But here we are. Let's get right into it. Again, here with Cicero and Plato, folks. We're going to hop into the options Greeks, even though Cicero is Italian. But anyways, let's move forward. And we're just going to go through all 5 of them today. All right, so we got some material that we need to cover. I think the most important ones are definitely delta, theta, and vega. There is no question about that. Rho is interesting, and obviously gamma as well too. I enjoy them all. I know a lot of people are obsessed with gamma squeezes, and we'll touch on that as well too there, folks. But let's get right into it, all right? And here's all the symbols. I thought that was pretty cool. We put all the symbols for the Greeks up there as well, all right? All right, folks, so in options trading, the Greeks are a set of calculations used to assess and manage the risks associated with the potential options positions. They are financial measures that represent the sensitivity of options price to certain underlying variables. Each measure has a different impact on the options contract price. All right, so you guys know, you hear me talk about selecting deltas quite often, using it as a percentage metric in whether that options contract will expire in the money or out the money. Then we have theta, time decay, extrinsic value that goes along with that. Then we have gamma is essentially delta's delta, and then we have a vega, goes with volatility, implied volatility, and rho, that is interest rate sensitive. But I think we have an ad read here, and then we're going to go into the next step.
Yes, sir. To wrap up 2024 with a massive savings opportunity from Trade Ideas right now, exclusive to Trader TV viewers, you get 25% off any subscription with code TraderTV25. That's one word, TraderTV25, or go big with a 30% off the premium annual using TTVPREM30. So TTVPREM30. Both are valid through January 3rd, so don't miss out on these New Year's savings, and let's crush 2025 together, Joseph. Going to be pumped up for next year. So
Yeah. I'm amped for 2025. There's no doubt about that, folks. But okay, so we just went over kind of what the Greeks are and how we're going to implement them in our day-to-day options trading, all right? So this Greek measures delta, this Greek measures the change in options price for every 1 point move in the underlying asset or stock itself, okay? So delta has a range of -100 to 0 for puts and 0 to +100 for calls. Simple as that. It doesn't exceed that, and it stays within those ranges. And you'll notice that they have a little bit of a different metric when we look on the chain, but you just move the decimal point over a couple places, all right? So if the contract delta is 0.8, this means the options price will change $80, right, or 0.880 cents using the options contract multiplier of 100 for every $1 move. If the options contract is valued at $1 with a delta of 0.8 and the underlying has a $1 move, that options contract will now be valued at $1.80. Simplistic stuff, right? So that's just what you want to look at when you're looking at deltas. You also have the ability to use this as a percentage metric and whether it's going to close in the money or out the money. And then when we go over and just look at the chain briefly, we'll be able to establish that and from an eye gauge that I personally like to do, all right? So here we are on the options chain here, folks. And as you can see, we have the delta column highlighted. And I just want you to look at this from a percentage metric, how I mentioned this, but also in just what we kind of stand at from a value standpoint, all right? So as you can see here, the farther we go out the money, the lower the delta is. So every 1 point move, that delta is going to fluctuate and get closer to that one delta, as high as it can possibly go. So now I want you to look at this from a percentage metric, all right? So Apple is trading at currently $245. This is when I took this screenshot a couple days ago. But I want you to look at this 240 strike price right here, okay? And I want you to see the delta being 0.95, all right? So look at this as a metric as, okay, if I were to buy this $240 strike price, we're already in the money. We're buying this with intrinsic value. Use that as a metric and say, oh, and gauge it in an aspect like, oh, okay, about 95% chance that we're going to expire in the money by January 3rd. It makes a bunch of sense, right? And then you can do that as well when you step out further on the strike price. So just keep that in mind. So at this point, when you're dealing with delta, you can see that we have a delta of 0.95, as I previously mentioned. That's almost 1-to-1 as for every $1 move in the underlying asset that contract is going to gain $100, all right? So, but again, when you buy an in-the-money contract, that doesn't mean you're going to be profitable right away. You still have to include time value, and you still need that underlying asset to appreciate in order to be profitable, okay? So just use that as a metric. And the same thing with the put size. As you can see, the higher we go in strike price, the 265, we're sitting at a 95 delta. When the price is trading at $254, that makes sense. We're bearish. If we were to buy this contract at 265, and it's trading at 254, sure enough, in a span of 5 days, even less now, that this contract is going to expire in the money. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be profitable. Just always take that into consideration, because that would make the game way too easy if you could just buy in the money contracts that are going to expire in the money, as I just explained. So Gamma, all right, provides you with the expected change in delta for each $1 change in the underlying asset. So people like to refer Gamma as delta's delta, all right? As it is greater, so Gamma is greater for at-the-money options, decreases after the options contract trades more in the money or out the money, all right? So the Gamma is greatest when contracts are at the money, okay? So just keep that in mind. Gamma is always positive, unlike some delta. When you're on the put side, it is negative. And like theta, gamma increases as you approach expiration. So the fluctuation within the delta can become vast. And when you go to those 0 DTE, that's where you can see those massive fluctuations in delta, all right? So let's take an example here. The contract has a delta of 0.7 and a gamma of 0.2 with the underlying asset moving from $100 to $101. The adjusted delta would now be 0.9. It's as simplistic as that, all right? So you can almost do these own calculations, but there's no need to do that because everything's so fast and forever changing, okay? So keep that in mind. So here's the exact same example. If this 255 strike price were to go, at the money strike price were to go up to 256, then you will see that delta being adjusted, all right? So that would be 0.7 something, whatever, I'm not gonna do the math, but you get the concept that that is now added, and then now the gamma will also be changed, and therefore changing the delta of the options contract, all right? And the same thing on the put side there, folks, okay? So just keep that in mind. We'll go over theta, and then we'll take a little break and see what Vega and Rho are up to after, all right? So theta is the Greek metric that represents time decay in contract values. This is really important, okay? So when people buy out the money contracts, essentially you're only owning time value on that asset, all right? So just keep that in mind. So if a stock XYZ is trading at $100 and its $105 call is $1 with a theta of 0.2, that options contract value will decrease $20 every day. that variable is always changing as well too. Nothing is stagnant in the variables such as all these Greeks. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So while theta works in favor of option sellers, theta works against option buyers. So that's why option sellers love theta, because day by day, as theta increases and that contract stays out the money, the more likely you are to keep all of that options premium. Okay. So here you go, and it's the exact same thing. We have the theta column highlighted. If you were to buy these contracts, so say this contract was $3.30, if it were to stay at the current price and not fluctuate, that contract will lose $20 per day, okay? So that's simplistic stuff coming to theta, gamma, and delta, all right? So we will come back to Vega right after we hear from our guy, Sharif.
All right, we're involved in BDMD here with an average price of 71, just wet the beak at 7. Let's see if it can squeeze above 7 right now. It's above it, but a very, very light move above 7. I'm waiting at 7.25 next. This one we caught, well, I don't want to say the bottom. We didn't catch the bottom, but we had planned DCAs. I'm quite sad that I didn't have my DCA at 6 filled. That would have given me a fundamentally better cost basis, but we're going to work into this one, hopefully, and then take out some tops here. So the next level, I'm waiting at 7.25, but again, having trouble with 7. Now, this candle that we're currently in right now on the 5-minute chart, the 11:15 candle, is an inside candle ensconced by the highs and the lows of the previous 5-minute candle. So it kind of looks like, you know, we're in a bit of an area of indecision right now. I'm talking about BDMD. It's up 557%. Let's keep an eye out on this one. I'm also involved in a down halt here on ONCO. That was a planned dollar cost average at that $1.60. I think we're still in a decent position here on ONCO, despite the fact that I'm caught in the down halt. I'd like to see this hold up above that $1.45, $1.42. That's where the volume weighted average price is hanging out. I'd like to see it hold above there. I've already placed my stop below VWAP. So if this one dips and loses the volume weighted average price, end of trade. Excuse me, end of trade. All right, back to BDMD as it continues to whiffle and waffle south of 7. And there is a seller of note here. You can tell just by the way the level 2 and the time in sales is chopping and churning that it is a seller of note at around that 7 area. So the high of the day, closer to $8 than 7.75, 7.94 HOD. As we come back down now into the $0.75. I'm leaving everything the same on this one. All my planned dollar cost average, the one at 6 I'm leaving, the one at 5.50 I'm leaving. I'm going to defend this one into the volume weighted average price, okay? I've taken small share size to start, and I've already de-risked here, allowing me to be able to DCA into my levels. I'm never going to be able to catch the bottom or likely catch the top. That's what we're going to plan for this one, and we're going to defend it into the volume weighted average price. Currently, on my chart, VWAP's hanging out around 540, a little bit below that $0.50 area at around 550. I've taken account for that by having these orders, these resting dollar cost average orders to defend 6 and to defend that 5.5, with the ultimate out, though, of course, being the break of the volume weighted average price. I will have no smoke south of that VWAP area. Okay, back to ONCO. It's open now. Back into that $1.50. This is going to have to hold VWAP. VWAP currently at $1.42. Not adding here either. Okay, so if it gets back into that $1.70, we have a $1.70 cost basis right now, 157. It's what it's printing. I'm going to pack my patience now. If this one dips into that 142 and clearly defends it, I'll add at that level for a VWAP at. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm involved in BDMD and ONCO, doing well on BDMD, not so good on ONCO, and not so well. So we'll keep an eye out on this one, see if this one wants to pop back into the high side. I'm also keeping my eye on APM. Disappointed with myself. I did have a trade planned for APM at this level. Look at this beautiful rounded bottom and a defend of the volume weighted average price. It has a wide range per candle, though, and if you haven't traded these small cap gappers, it behooves you to know what I mean by range per candle. That means that well, it depends on what time frame you're charting. I chart on the 5. So per 5-minute candle, look what the average price range is. That has to feature, number one, into your profit takers, into your stop losses, and into your position size. If you have a wide range per candle, it behooves you to work into the position in case the bottom drops off or you can't afford to take that kind of risk. on a per candle basis. So I'm keeping my eye here on APM, or already took 7. Here goes 7 1/3 on APM. This one isn't the high of day. It's up an eye-watering 430%, 734. HO-dang-D on APM. Packing my patience over here. I'd love to be able to work into this one, but it's going to have to settle down a little bit more. I like it possibly up that 6.5. So there was an obvious area of resistance at 6.5 on APM. If it comes back in and tests that level, I want to be a buyer in and around 6.5. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to load it up on another trading screen. I'm going to put a dip trade for APM at that 6.5, Joseph.
Hey, good stuff there, my friend. I'm just sitting here waiting. NVDA is really tanking here, folks. So we're just going to continue to monitor some things. The market is extremely weak today, so not something I was particularly prepared for. But I mean, you got to be ready for everything, kind of in this market sentiment. So sure enough, NVDA is really starting to pull back, creating some new lows, just giving back everything that it put up yesterday as well too. So negative 1.5% on the session thus far, and Tesla also starting to sell as well too, folks. So I think I'm gonna wait for a bottoming signal if we do decide that we want to turn around. I'm not going to chase all the way down here, totally fine. We're gonna wait for those setups to come to us, and then we're gonna look to take advantage of them. So guys, continue to let me know what you're looking at in the chat. If you have any questions about the options Greeks, make sure you ask me, tag me in the chat as well too. I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. But let's take a look at some of the top volume stocks on the session thus far, guys. So RGTI, kind of leading the way here, with about 75 million shares traded on this session. So let's pull up RGTI real quick and see what we got going on over there. Is this something bullish or RGTI? Because I didn't really look at it this morning. So yeah, starting to pull back in. I mean, from a daily perspective, we've just been absolutely parabolic here. So totally reasonable for that type of pullback. Not going to panic too much on that front. So let's zoom in a little bit here. And sure enough, we are starting to sell like the overall market. Totally justifiable. Let's see if we're going to get any bottoming signals on the day. I mean, it is kind of I'm not going to call it a half day, but I think it's going to be a lax day on that front. Come 2 o'clock, it's probably going to be a lot quiet. That volume is going to start to step off, even maybe around lunchtime. So let's be real patient, wait for those opportunities to come to us, and then see if we have the ability to take advantage of them. So now sitting in second place is NVDA. We just went over that, and then Tesla as well too. But SoundHound is up there and continuing to just put up this volume day after day. I have to start paying a little more attention to this thing. But again, kind of just resembling the overall market here, starting to sell. Clearing these bottoms here, we broke that 5-minute opening range, had the inability to come and test it or anywhere relatively close to any of these highs, and then continue to move south here, southeast. So let's see if we break the support system that we've established and then head a little more southeast there, guys. So let's take a look at one more, and that's PLTR. Again, sitting at about 22 million shares traded on the session, really forming this wedge here. So if we get any form of volume to step in and we break to the top side or to the downside, then I'm going to look to participate on that front, all right? So keep that in mind. I really like the way PLTR is setting up. It is kind of holding compared to the rest of the market, so that's a positive signal for me as well too. So if any relative strength decides that wants to step in, then maybe we can look to get involved here. And other than that, those are the top volume thus far. And then I'll send it over to Sharif real quick while I get the top performing sectors ready.
Absolutely.
Here.
Okay, so we added at that 5.5 on BDMD. Now it's going to have to hold here. So this is the 5.5 VWAP area. If it gives up VWAP, I want no smoke on this one, as I mentioned. So we're cost basis of 611. It's printing 590 now. I've obviously moved down my profit takers to account for the recent price action. I'm waiting at 6.25 and then around 6.5 here. But again, we're not out of the woods. It's back into $6. It did defend that level, but you know, it's kind of anything can happen here, right? The bottom can drop off. It can print a new high a day. That's how these small cap gappers go. So here we go back into 6 1/5. Seller at 6 1/5 over here, unable to ascend above that. I'm waiting at 6 1/4. So let's see what comes back into 615 over here. I see you guys talking about HOLO halted to the downside at 595. HOLO now negative on the day, down over 7%. Was one of the winners that we had yesterday. Just allow me a minute over here. One of the winners that we had yesterday, that was a a triple-digit winner. It is now a loser on the, well, for now. It broke below 650. That was the closing print yesterday on HOLO, and it's below that right now. So we're going to give this one a look. We'll keep an eye out on it. Here comes my possible dip trade on APM. I'm waiting for this one at around, I put the dip trade in front of that 6.5, only because I perceive to be an obvious area of earlier resistance at 6.5. So we're going to give this one. Here we go. It's coming in. It's not printing me. I'm waiting at 660. There we get the fill. Now it's going to have to hold up above 6.25. So we're going to give this one a little bit of risk over here, below 6.25. So we'll risk down to 10. Let's see what this one does. What price do we have? 659s. So we'll pack our patience over here, see if this one wants to bounce up. But if it doesn't, we're not going to give it too much room. All right, ONCO bouncing right back up, so break even on that one. I'm waiting in the low 80s for a print back into 76, liking how this one is trading, but definitely not out of the woods, and only one print on this. This is going to halt up unless it's going to be a false halt. So I got caught in the down halt on this one. Let's see if this one ends up halting to the high side. False halt at 177, back into that $0.75, and down we go again. I'm having to monitor all of these ones, APM, ONCO, and BDMD. They're all kind of moving a little bit wiggly here. Shout out to Piggly Wiggly. Anybody in the States knows exactly what I'm talking about. Ob knows. So we're keeping an eye on BDMD, Joseph, and ONCO and APM. Looks like we're going to get stopped out of APM, though. It's coming down, and we did get stopped out. So that's the first L of the day.
Hey, that's all right. Pretty Panda, Sharif, Joe, Happy New Year's, boys. Something is going 1K% today. Could it be NCI? Doesn't matter to me because I'm going to sell after 12% as usual.
I like
All right, Pretty Panda. I had to pull up NCI as well. So Neo Concept Intelligence Group up to $1.41. Let's see here. NCI. What are you in? Oh no, it's NAS. Okay. Are we halted here? I think so.
I like
I
halts.
think so. Yeah, you like halts. Okay, but yeah, guys, let's hop back into the top performing sectors of the day. All right. So, oops. I don't know if I'm allowed to show that. Okay, so
What happened over there?
yeah, that's all right. That's okay, guys. Yeah. So,
Bang.
guys, bang. So, energy sector, XLE, sitting at the top of its class here, folks. All right. Trading higher, but now pulling back, starting to break some support levels here, sitting up about 1.13% here on the session. This is XLE, guys. If you're looking for any relative strength, here we are, XLE, the energy sector, looking half decent. Sitting in second place, up about 0.75% there, is XLRE, all right? The real estate sector, absolutely flat on the session. Not necessarily something that you would want to be trading, but again, you can see these pre-market gap ups and the gap ups heading into the open. So up about 0.74% on the session. And then we have XLB, material sector ETF here, guys. Up only about 0.3%. Again, not trading overly well here, folks. Again, that would just be due to the pre-market gap up and that pre-market trading. Now coming back into those key levels, running into some resistance, some prior resistance here. Let's see if we can go test the bottom of this opening range here on XLB, all right? So let's go from the bottom up now, folks. What is the third place worst performing is... That's the tech sector. I always mix them up. Okay, so is XLY. And there we go, the consumer discretionary, all right? So we're negative about 0.23% on the session here. And as you can see, it is relayed in the price action that we can see on the chart. And then XLU being in second last here, folks. The utilities continuing to sell off here, breaking the pre-market support levels and continuing to the sell side. And then that's in last place, Sharif. We have the tech sector, XLK, down about 0.5% on the session there, folks. So those are the top three and bottom three performing sectors on the day.
All right, man. We're doing well here on BDMD.
Right,
I'm
man.
happy that I defended this into VWAP. The only reason I was able to do that is because I position sized appropriately. Given my shutdown, given the nature of the stock, we've got a 578 long. I just took out some at 7, so we're over $1 in the money on this one. We're gonna see if this one wants to run up again through 7. It's having a lot of trouble with 7. And if I can make one quick observation over here, despite the bounce off the obvious key level, it is now putting in lower highs. I'm talking about BDN dang T. Okay, and here it comes right back into 6 again. So if you're not ready to stomach this kind of volatility, don't trade these names, because this is kind of what you get. You get wide percentage moves. Since I've been in this, it's already moved up and down over 100%. From that 580 something that I was in into the $8 touch that it had at the top there. So keep your eye on this one. I don't think I'm gonna have another dollar cost average to wait at that 5.5 again. I don't think that's what I want to do at this level. What I want to see here is continuity above $7. If we get above $7, I can add into this position. Given how we've traded at $7 the last, I want to say 10, 15 minutes, and with the obvious seller that we've had here on the iceberg basis at $7, if we can take out that seller, then I'd be more than interested to add into the position, but I don't want a dollar cost average over here. We've got 4 more outs on this bad boy, so I don't need to be quick to take it out. We're already doing well on it. I don't want to take out too much more over here at this level. Now, boom, into ONCO, seller at 80. Can we take him out? And bang, we get that print on ONCO. Let's see if we can take it out here in the high 90s. Curling, baby, off that volume-weighted average dang price. We'll see if we can get that continuity. There's a lot of volatility in these names, man. Holy cow. ONCO, zigging, zagging, BDMD, zigging, zagging. Look at this topping tail candle that I got printed. And the only reason I got that print on ONCO is because I had a resting order. Use resting orders with these small cap gappers. They don't hang out in the price range that you want to print on for all that long. And if they do, they're met with obvious incremental selling at these key areas of support and resistance. So we'll see if this one wants to pop back up. Right now, rejecting off 82 is my next beak wetter. You know where I'm going to sit. If we're in the 60s, you know where I'm sitting. If we're in the 80s, you know where I'm sitting.
Where you sitting at,
88s and 69.
Hey,
that's the way it is, Joseph. Here we go with the 80s again. What's my size? I can take out more here on ONCO. I don't need to hold that much. So here we go, popping back into 82s. There's an obvious seller in the low 80s here. That's twice now we're rejecting off that 82 level. Kind of weird level to be rejecting off. Anyway, we're waiting at 88s. Let's see if this one wants to pop back up. Packing my patience with ONCO. Down goes BDMD. We're still about like 25 pennies in the money on this. I'm going to take out a little bit more here because it looks like we may halt to the downside. And if that's the case, well, you know, I don't want any smoke. So we'll take out a little bit more there. 3 more outs on this one. Packing my patience. Anything below my entry at 578, done. What are you looking at?
Gonzino, eh? Out of Dodge. We're getting out of Dodge. Yeah, I've never been to Dodge. I'm pretty sure it's in America.
Okay.
So, yeah, have you been to Dodge?
I've driven a Dodge Ram.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Yeah, I used to drive a Dodge Ram. Never been to Dodge. Anyways, yeah, guys. I mean, IBIT selling, yes, let's go. I mean, I don't want to say that, but we want to get a little bit more here. So continue to sell here, IBIT. We're sitting in this PLTR short. Let's see if we can break. It's holding up strong relative to the overall market. So again, there might be some strength in this thing. If we don't break these key support levels and then we decide that we want to squeeze back to the top side, see you later. I'm absolutely, I'm out of this position. Kyle Burdett just tripled my IBIT put position. Okay, that's hectic. But okay, I see where you're going with that. What's your price target there, Kyle? Let me know what you are looking at and what range you are looking to start to take some profit on. But yeah, guys, let's see what's going on here. I don't love this price action as we are kind of compressing. Totally fine. I think we just got to be a little patient on this one, especially on this front here. So if we break 77, I'm out of this position, and then we can reassess and look for something that maybe is a little more weak or something that is strong and looking like that it wants to turn around. Okay, so. Guys, continue. NCI opens up for 1.6 seconds and then halts again. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's moving like crazy right now, up quite a bit on the session. I think over 100%. But guys, we are going to send it off to Adara.
We're going to take a really different approach to our afternoon sector, or I guess midday sector watch segment. Usually what I do here is take a look at the top performers to the upside and downside on the S&P 500, but it's the end of the year. So why not switch it up? In case you're wondering why this sector board looks a little bit different, it's because this is actually year-to-date performances. So you can see here which stocks performed really well. Shockingly, being kind of sarcastic, electronic technology and technology services really good. Finance was great, retail trade, commercial services, utilities, communications. Health services, though, very red, as was most of the technology sector. Some consumer non-durables names as well, notably Pepsi and Mondelez, pretty weak. But now, what we're going to do right now, also congrats to Sharif, who's, shout out to you, Sharif, I'm just seeing a pump his fist there. Get it, Sharif. What we're going to do here is take a look at these performers here, the top performers in each of the top sectors. The top sector here on the year was, drumroll please, communication services. And that's going to start here with Netflix. Netflix up about 85% here on the year. That is the year-to-date chart here of Netflix on the daily chart. Some resistance here we're running into, but great look overall for NFLX. There's several new all-time highs this year. Then we have KKR, which is the top performer in the financial services sector. This is interesting. Finance. KKR was actually added to the S&P 500 earlier this year alongside CrowdStrike in June. So KKR, new S&P 500 inductee, but leading the financial services sector to the upside. Financial services were up about 30% here on the year, or for 28%, and KKR here was also up about 80% on the year. Last but not least, another recent S&P 500 inductee, that is DECK. Unfortunately, this chart is not split adjusted, but this is Deckers. They were added alongside SMCI to the S&P 500 in March, and they led the consumer discretionary sector to the upside. Consumer discretionary is up about 25% on the year, and DECK up about 85% on the year. So DECK, KKR, and NFLX leading the top three sectors on the year, guys. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. All right, guys, we're caught in the up halt here on ONCO. I've taken some profits, still have several more outs on this one. Let's see what the tap is. 99s, the halt level is 97s. Good look right now for your boy Onco. What is this company anyway? I don't really give a you-know-what, but commercial stage biotech company, $60 million market cap, 210 million shares traded, and about a 20.33 million share float, with a short float of 1.64% negligible. All right, we're still holding, as you can see here on BDMD. Look, I put my stop already below my entry. My entry's at 78s. We're printing 50s. Anything below my entry, I'm gonzino. What I do like right now on the 5-minute chart is it's showing me higher lows incrementally on a per 5-minute candle basis. So I like what I'm seeing from the lows perspective. I don't like what I'm seeing from the highs, because we're putting in equally lower highs just like we're putting in higher lows. So that's a bit of a compression pattern. Let's see how that resolves. As you can probably see on the position board, I'm back in APM, the one I took an L on. We already printed on it to the high side. Now I'm looking for that 95s. I'm bang. We take out 95s there. Let's see if we can take out 6s. I'm waiting at 609 right there on APM, looking for this one to hold the volume weighted average price and squeeze back into that 650. What I'd like to do is see if it can take 6 decisively, or is it just going to be a scalp trade on it? If it takes 6 decisively, like with aggression, then I'm going to add to this position, okay? Assuming we get printed and bang, we take out 610. Boom. Let's see if we can set up a little bit up here, Joseph. We're going to sit in the low 20s for another scalp there. APM headed to the high side. Just as APM is headed to the high side, BDMD headed to the downside again, back into 6. So keeping my eye out on this one. I don't want the bottom to drop off, despite the fact that I put in a stop with a wide spread. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I use limit stops. By definition, if you're using limit stops, then it will only sell the shares that you have on between the 2 limit prices that you put in. There's a trigger price and a full limit price. And so I put a bit of a spread between the two to account for any slippage that we can get. Go APM. Into 640s we go. We only have one more out here I have to add into this position, man. It took out, say, I'm going to have to add in here. So we're going to add into this despite the fact that I don't want to add, but we're going to have to add in here. And now I'm going to set up above the $0.50. Well, actually, no, below the $0.50 and then above the $0.50. So we'll set up there into 57s. Let's see what we get over here on APM. Don't like adding at highs, but hey, that's just kind of what you have to do because I didn't have that much. Joseph, what are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm just talking to Pretty Panda here. He said he's in NCI as well too. So I mean that thing's halted once again, trading at $1.54. So I mean, good luck there on NCI there, Pretty Panda. And yeah, Greg, you see my message, so hit me up, brother. But guys, this PLTR trade just kind of just zigging and zagging here, as Sharif likes to say. We're just chopping around in this area and in this definitive range here. So again, if we squeeze above 77, then I'm out of this trade, and I don't think I'm going to try to short, right? So I don't want to short this market right now, especially that we're kind of extended to the downside already. So we're going to look for positions that we can look to take a potential long, and that was on the NVDA front. So why am I in this? I think I see some potential bottoming signals. Are they going to be definitive? Not 100%. Nothing is 100%. So if we break 134.92, I'm out of the trade. But as we continue to work, then maybe we look to add a little bit to this to the position, which I think we're going to do right now here, folks, just to see. Just to get a little more test of the waters, because I don't think that we're going to sell too much more. But again, I could be totally wrong. We are trading below the volume weighted average price here on the session, with all the mega cap tech stocks kind of doing that as well too. So SPY and Q's trading below VWAP. Can we pull back and hit the volume weighted average price once again? Let's see. Only time will tell. I'm going to hold this until 136. 136, I'll take half the position off, and then we reassess the situation. What do you got going on there, man? You're giddy today.
Things are moving, boy. Yo, this is a good day today, Joseph.
It's a money storm, eh?
There we go, right into the high side, bro.
Jeez, Adara, what is Adara and what is it?
I don't know
everybody's
what
got
Adara's doing, bro.
Everybody's
She's
got something.
$12 winner on MSTR.
Everybody's got something going on here.
Who knows what she's doing up there, bro?
Chaotic.
Sorry, this is today. Joseph, look at what happened over here.
Let's see it, brother.
At the top here on BDMD, we're long 78, so it's $1 and change. I'm waiting on the north side of 7 now. We're having issues with 7. Let's see if we can take out 7 here on BDMD. I'm leaving that order just where it is. We were halted to the upside on Onco, and then we made a new high into that 205s. That's actually not a new high. I lied. A skosh below the high of the day at around 207s. Now we're caught in a downhaul. Only one out left. This is the one that I'm most proud of because I added into this position, and I was worried that adding into this position would be trouble. We took out the majority. I've only got one out left here on APM. So if it breaks that 590 area, we're going to flatten out here, Joseph. If it breaks this level, I'm happy with this trade, but it's obviously coming right back down. But let me tell you, another move into 550 on APM, I will have a resting order to defend the volume weighted average price on this one. Still above 90s right now on the ask. That's why it didn't flatten out. Let's see if it can move back above 6. But this one is zigging and zagging. BDMD just tanked to the downside, and we got most of it out there on the stop.
Bang.
Happy about this. Wow, bro. Okay, so that position board is wrong. I am all out of BDMD. I don't have any more, so that position board incorrect, saying that I'm still in at 578. No, we got stopped out on the way down. Wowzers, dude. Are you kidding me?
Wowzers.
Moves into 7, then it drops into 5.25. Wow, range per candle, guys. Range per candle.
Who says wowzers? Inspector Gadget?
Yeah. Inspector Gadget. Boom, boom.
Yeah, it was a good show, man. It was a classic show. I remember when I was a kid, I collected you know how you would get the toys and you got to build them? Inspector Gadget, I got all the pieces.
Hey.
So yeah, I'll never forget that. So wowzers. That's a new.
Your boy Spile Burdette there, he's dropping money. Adara, this is for you.
Jeez.
Shout out Adara, the spread huntress herself. Oh, that's a nice name. Spin the gosh dang money and send out the cash cow, baby. I'll spend the money for you. But Obi, you got the cash cow there.
Hosan.
Whenever you're ready, my man. Well, the Katina man has it on his.
What's his name? What's his name? Hosan? The cash cow? Where did that name come from? But yeah, guys, just a quick touch up. My good buddy GV sent me this. He was trading Tesla today. So nice work there, Greg. Nice catch in the bottom there. All out here and here from our good buddy Greg V. Thanks for the $20 super chat, my friend, and beautiful trade there. Oh, whoa, top tick stat up there as well too. So nice work there from my guy Greg V. As always, smashing it. So nice work, brother. Way to end the new year, or the year, sorry, and head into the new year on a big W. So thanks, brother, on that one. Nice work. as well too, my friend. So glad to see that type of stuff going. But guys, we're starting to creep up a little bit here on NVDA. I want to join some of this fun that everybody's in there. So we're looking for 136. Are we going to get it? You know what I'm going to say? Only time will tell, my friends. Okay. And that's it. The bearer of all news, time. We love it. So let's continue to hold on to this position, see if we can start to pull back a little bit. But you know I'm going to look at the volume by time profile. It is not looking the best here on the 5-minute chart. Slowly starting to dwindle as we start to increase in price here. So this pullback on low volume, can this insinuate that we are going to make another leg down? Possibly. I don't know. Guess what? Only time will tell. We need to wait to see if this trade is going to continue to work for us, or we have to get out of Dodge and get out of this position, all right, folks? So keep that in mind. NCI starting to pull back a little bit here too, Pretty Panda. So we got to keep that in mind as well too, my friend. Kyle, you said 95, you're 95K, you're going to take a little bit of an L, but I think that Bitcoin is still going to continue to move south. Adair pointed this out really well. We are making lower highs on BTC. We kind of squeezed. Is it a bull trap? Maybe. Sharif mentioned this yesterday. I'm waiting to buy some more. So head south. If we head south, guess who's buying more? Your boy. That's it. Bang. And that's simple. We got another $2 super chat. Head and shoulders on SPY? Maybe. Let's take a look. I don't see anything on that front, but let's zoom out here on the daily. Let's see what we got from a daily perspective here, Sharif. Yes, on the SPY, head and shoulders, I don't necessarily see one. This isn't the best looking one, but I mean, if you want to call it that, then we can call it that. Head and shoulders, maybe we head south on the SPY, my guy.
I like it, man. I like it. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, I said something to Ram, and here we go. So, guys, Lucid is delivering. Just pause it for a sec, Ram. I want to kind of preface the whole thing. Lucid is finally in the stage where they're able to deliver the gravity. Now, I was really interested in picking up this car, selling my car and picking up this specific one. We're not going to have any deliveries, sadly, in Canada, likely until the end of 25, maybe early 26. That is not the case down south, obviously, as you guys get first dibs. This is Lucid's first move into the SUV market, which we know is bigger than the sedan market now. So here it is, Ram. Let's show it to them. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but yeah, now people are getting it off the production line. I love this car. This is a serious car. If you guys like Lucids, but you don't like the sedans, kind of like me, this is the one that I've been looking at for a while, and I don't know how you guys feel about it. It's kind of it's a three rower. Well, and I don't have a family, obviously, so a 3-rower.
It looks like a minivan, kind of.
A little bit. It's got that big bulbous back,
the bulbous.
right? Which is they do that for the 3rd row.
All right.
But this is dude, it's all screens.
It's all
like
screens.
NVIDIA must have a lot of money invested in that because all GPUs up in that thing, right?
Jeez.
So that's the gravity. Lucid up big on the day today. I think where was Lucid? It was up big. Holy cow! It gave back everything, dude. Lucid's only up 0.63 now, so I thought it would definitely be a bit more sustainable.
You know what's funny? My grandpa used to have this old white Benz. I don't know how old it is, but it was really old to the point where in the back seat, it was a hatchback. The back seat were 2 seats facing oncoming traffic. Have you ever seen one of that? Have you seen it? Yeah.
Hold on. My mom
cool.
used to have a car. It was an Oldsmobile.
Oh, really?
Right? Oldsmobile, whatever.
It's like in the trunk, 2 seats in the trunk, and you're facing the. That thing was pretty cool. That's funny, guys. But yeah, we're slowly starting to recover. We took a little bit off of NVDA here, folks. Before 136, totally fine. As we continue to recover, just a 10% partial on that front. So let's see if we can still continue to recover on the overall market. We are starting to head towards the volume weighted average price once again. So keep that in mind. I think if NVDA decides that it wants to squeeze, the overall market is going to join and participate with it too. So yeah, a lot of people are liking that in the chat. The Mercedes R500, yeah, possibly. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was funny, and I highly doubt that's allowed these days to have 2 seats in the trunk facing the opposite way. So yeah, funny stuff, and it was white. So a nice looking car, wasn't horrible. So yeah, exactly.
I like
but yeah, guys, just to go back again, I'll point these out multiple times here. Is that these signals here are really key to me with the underlying and isolated volume signature. This can insinuate, hey, we're ready to potentially turn around, and sure enough, we take the break of the high of that candle, and then we just continue to hold on to this position, looking for a target of the volume-weighted average price.
All right, sir, we just took out some more there on APM. Let me just load up my screen here. I only have one more out, so I got to pack my patience on this one. I want to see what you guys were saying about the car, though. Mark Susi says it's awesome. The what now? Says digital gravity. I don't know what that means. What else we got over here? How much is Hertz Scrambler? Yeah, that's the problem. It's going to be over 100. Nice station wagon, says Reg. Okay, he doesn't like it. Rev Boost. It's like a Range Rover / Wagoneer. Yeah, kind of. A little bit. It's got that Wagoneer kind of style where, you know, the Wagoneer is quite boxy. Obviously, the Rivian is like that as well. Eschia, shout out to you. Rondo, Lucid. From a chassis engineering standpoint, may be the best car in the world. Look, I'm not going to vouch for that. You sound like you know more than me about that kind of stuff. But from what I understand, Lucid, the Lucids, the Rivians, they're like a no compromising type manufacturing process in the sense that they're not cutting corners, which obviously increases costs substantially, which is why they're so expensive. But obviously from a customer's perspective, you're loving life because there's no corners being cut, right? So I hear what you're saying on that. It makes production more expensive, as I mentioned, but also more challenging. But from a customer, you don't care about that, right? Unless you're waiting for the delivery to no end, which maybe some people are. Definitely looks like a minivan. It said Trader Forever. You're not wrong, brother. That third row kind of gives it that vibe. So shout out to you. Does it come with a trading station, says Digital Gravity. Brother, I think there's enough screens in that bad boy that you could actually have a trading station. I'm sure you'd have to set one up. Swirling Brain. To me, Lucid looks plain Jane. Respect your opinion, brother. I mean, I don't personally think it looks plain at all. I think it's got nice stylings and nice curves, this, that, and the other. But KKP, people with no family.
That's an insane take, dude.
Hey, let him, bro.
That's
let him.
insane.
You can say whatever he wants. Tyler B says, nah, it was a Volvo. I'm assuming you're talking about the look. Yeah, sure. What else we got over here? Escape Planet says, I have a 70 Coronet wagon that has those seats. Okay, I like that. Mr. Moon was asking me if we want to become part of the States. I gave him an answer there. Let's see, and then I think that's basically it. Then all the answers are done there. Yeah. Absolutely, Swirling Brain, no problem.
Let's take a couple step back here.
Sure.
All right,
go.
People who don't have family shouldn't drive an SUV? Come on, man. Come on, I got to put my hockey bag in the back. What if the boys are playing too?
Sorry, Joseph.
What if I got to drive the boys to the game?
You got to figure a different
I got to figure it out. We got to take the old 320. Oh man, you don't even understand the old 320. I used to drive my hockey buddies in this thing. 2 bags in the back, one in the trunk, one in the back seat. Buddy sitting with the bags in the back seat. We had to upgrade to the X1, Sharif. We can't have 4 hockey bags in the 320, man. Come on. Get out of here.
Aldrin Giller. Aldrin, yeah. Lambo has an SUV. Exactly. The Urus.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the Urus, right? Like, it's an expensive Audi. That's what it is.
You think
right?
so?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's built on the same platform as the Q8.
You know that guy who just tears apart the vehicles? Have you ever seen him?
I saw the guy tear apart the Cybertruck.
Oh, okay. Well,
saw that?
All right, yeah. No, I seen him tear apart the Urus, right?
I didn't see
and
that.
And it's like all Audi stuff on the inside, like the computers, Audi. Yeah. He just gets like these cars and then just absolutely ravages them. Like rips off the door panels, rips off everything. Yeah. You gotta see this guy.
Bro.
He does it to like all like good cars, high brand name cars, right? And just rips them apart. This guy's just ripping the doors off of the Lambo. I'm just like, oh my days. So yeah, anyways, guys, let's get back to talking a little stocks. Let me know what you guys are looking at here. We're starting to pull back. reverting the reversion, I guess, as Obi would like to say. We didn't quite make it to the volume-weighted average price just yet, but we got to be a little bit more patient, I think, on this front. The overall market is extremely weak today, which is it's kind of dampering the Christmas rally, the Santa Claus rally, which we can call over now. So the New Year's rally, I think it's done Zeno here. Guys, as I mentioned before, the volume is going to start to drop off a little bit here, so we need to keep that in mind as well, too, all right? So we may not get those extended moves or those recoveries that we're necessarily looking for in the market, so just be patient. Don't hyperthink everything. Don't micromanage all your positions. Just let things play out, put your stops and your orders in place, and let's see where the day takes us. But, guys.
What?
$10, another $10 super chat. Yeah, guys, Jabroni might want to load up all his boys for a weekend trip. They all won't fit in his Kia Soul.
Yo, bro. Big smile, bro. You know he doesn't have a Kia Soul.
Bro.
Adara, what's that boxy car that you like? The Nissan. What did she say?
All the way back there.
What did she say?
I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
there's another one. She likes that Chevy HH. Nissan Q,
The Nissan,
that's the one.
that thing is...
Kia Soul, okay, so I knew there was a Kia Soul in there somewhere.
Oh my
So
day.
it's Adara who likes a Kia Soul, so that joke should be to Adara.
Yeah.
Because Big Spow was trying to troll Joseph over here about the Kia Soul.
Kia Soul.
Shout out to Big Spile Brudeg. Bang, get some Jobroni. All right, guys, I'm back involved with ONCO. It's at VWAP, so I'm going to give this one about 10 pennies attempt over here. Onco, we're doing real well on this one. I want to do a little bit even better. Let's see if we can get that print in the mid-60s. That's where I'm waiting right now. I'm all done with APM. We took $1 off the bottom there, off that, where was I? 577. We took it out at 680. Pleased with this one. APM putting incrementally higher lows, but it's got wide range per candle. Wide range per candle usually spells trouble if you punch in at highs, because usually it retraces down. That's why it's wide range per candle. So keeping my eye out on this one. Obviously, I don't have the best price on that L, but I was pretty close because it rejected 696. So I'm packing my patience on Onco right now. If it wants to hold the VWAP, the volume weighted average price, it's also VWAP and the $1.50 level are overlapping right now. And I like that from a technical support perspective. You want to see something hold up at VWAP as well as that $0.50 level. Sometimes the $0.50 level and the whole dollar level act as psychological areas of both support and resistance. So when they overlap with another technical area like VWAP, it sometimes helps a trade, but we shall find out. So we're long right now at 49s. We're printing 55s. Let's see if we can get something up here in the low 60s on Onco. What else we got going on? Mary S. Lyman. I have a Scion, or I think it said Scion.
Scion,
right?
I think we're looking for.
TC. I see those all the time, Mary, on the street. There's a lot of them in Toronto. Ram. Uh-oh. She's chiming in. What car should I get next, y'all? My Explorer is totaled. I didn't do it. She did. She did do it, but it's okay.
She did it,
oh, God. There's a video. There's a picture of
What'd
it.
she
The
do?
first thing she did when she walked in the morning is she showed me a picture of her total car, which I felt bad for because I know how much she loves her car.
Would
right?
she hit a curb?
Yeah, if the curb's another car.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah. So, Ram, I don't know. I'm not throwing it out there as an idea, but you're the one that was saying you wanted a TRX, Ram. What's going on with that? She already has a truck.
Oh, sorry.
I know. It's downstairs? Okay, I'll be right back.
What kind of truck is it?
What?
What kind of truck is it?
Yeah, what kind of truck is? She's got a Ford Explorer.
Oh, but I thought it was total.
It got fixed. It's been a minute now. It's been like a few weeks. All right, guys. We got to just do this super quick here. Hello from Dubai, Nina. New Year's in 3 hours. Enjoy watching Trader TV. In the meantime, we love having you, Nina. Thank you for the kind words and for the $17.99 dirhams. Thank you very much. I actually know what currency that is. Huh? Not bad. All right, guys. Appreciate you, Nina. For now, though, we're going to send you to Adara at the big desk, and after that, Neil is going to have the lesson of the day.
To call the day wild would be probably an understatement. It's been a really exciting day of trading here. These major indices, S&P 500 down about 0.2% on the day. NASDAQ down slightly more, and I would say NASDAQ, the chart looking a little bit rougher here. Currently below that previous support around that 514 level. We had this wick above it. Currently trading around 513.77 with the next level of potential resistance. I guess new low of days here if we can break that support around 512.80s. IWM, though, to contrast, actually doing quite well. Very much removed from our highs around that 223 area, but still up on the day for that Russell 2000. Tons of tickers to talk about today. We had tons of moves in small caps, especially. We still have crypto on watch. We saw what MSTR did off the open. Tesla on watch here as well. And we have to talk as well about these small caps because they did, as mentioned, really run the show. HOLO, this is initially up about 30% in the day. At lows, it was down about 30%. Tons of halts. You might remember microcloud hologram from back in February when it had its massive push to the upside. As of right now, HOLO still known for being super volatile here with about a 5.5 million share float, roughly 10% of which is currently sold short. Huge day as well for a lot of these EV names. Rivian made this random little pop here around 10 a.m. Only catalyst you could really find was a couple days ago over the weekend, Marquez Brownlee actually tweeting that he prefers the Rivian vehicles to the Cybertruck. So that is of note. Also, as well, as Sharif pointed out there, Lucid announcing some positive sales data. So Rivian could be related, but FFIE, MULN, and NKLA, so some of these smaller EV and non-traditional vehicle plays, absolutely on watch as well. Make sure you vote in the chat here because we have 3 polls during the midday at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. We have our vote for the rundown. So you have basically 4 tickers to choose from in each of those polls, and the top 5 tickers will be covered on the rundown at 2 p.m. Then at 12 p.m., we have our special Playmaker poll. You choose if you want to go long or short the SPY as a group, and then Joe and Sharif will take you through that trade. But in the meantime, we're going to take you over to Neil, who's going to be delivering his last lesson of the day in 2024. With that, take it away, Neil.
Thank you very much, Adara. And of course, like everything else, sure, maybe the last one of the year, but there will be plenty in 2025. Look, you would have seen something happen on not just the quantum names today, but on several low float or small cap runners on almost simultaneously. So how is it, if you're focused on only one, it could look really strong. The breakout could be set up, the continuation play, which you like. There were really good continuation plays, both long and short today. And continuation on something like a Rigetti or a quantum name would have been looking for the long trade. But why was this what was looking? This is a fantastic V-shaped recovery. There's no question about it. Right at the open, you're going to see a dip, look like it's breaking out, and who wouldn't like this kind of a break after it trapped some shorts? But there was a warning sign. Admittedly, it never broke out, and I spent some mental capital looking for the breakout that never occurred on Rigetti, thinking it would do something like it did in the afternoon the previous day, which was go another couple of bucks after holding VWAP. Tried the VWAP bounce, and you'll see it flush down in. Holo's now halted to the upside. I'm going to get to that one last. There was a sign that you could have gotten away from this and maybe actually been looking for the reversion, and that's to look at the cohorts. Because while this was making that V-shaped recovery, and I'll zoom in for you on Rigetti, well, bottom all the way back into the top, I on Q was doing this, which is the same, rejecting lower highs and then pulling back in. You can pull up QUBT if you happen to like. This one was trying to bounce and holding under its pre-market lows and actually continuing lower. So what you had was a swath of names that were adjacent to it that were actually giving it up. So yes, Rigetti was pressing higher, but all of these other names were dump and then continuation to the short side of the trade. And in that particular case, when they all start to roll over and you've got charts that are all parabolic and it's also a lower liquidity type of day, ultimately it isn't broken through that high. The reversion becomes a very good trade because you've got a follow through that you can see the potential. You know where the bottom is. You've seen what its cohorts. I'm just going back to a 3 minute so you can see the last couple of days a little more cleaner here. You've got bottoms that give you a huge move. You've got tight resistance up to the top. You've got the rest of the group, whether it's going to be small caps or whether it's going to be specifically the quantum names, pulling back in. There's a lot lining up for this as the risk to reward to at least try the short is going to make a lot of sense. You can always go long if it ends up breaking out yesterday's high. That's a separate trade. So it was an obvious one on a reversion. And then here, I'm just going to quickly show you what happened on Holo as well. Because the real reason is when I turned to Obi and said, instead of looking for, and this is after all of these other small cappers had started reverting back in, I was looking for some kind of a hold of VWAP on Holo because it's upward trending. So there's your test of the high. I'm like, okay, let's go back into VWAP. Now at this point, they've all rolled over, all of them. And you reverted this trend line as well. So I'm going to be angry with myself because clearly there's a double top. There's when it does the trend reversion. I'm still thinking VWAP bounce because I've sort of wired myself in to look for longs on the small cap on the, somewhat of a holiday type day before a holiday. So we end up missing a chance to play a disgusting reversion to the downside. Now, the key here for HOLO is remember, everything had already broken back down. The quantum names had broken back down in. What was the other name that was strong that wasn't necessarily a quantum name that was a small capper that was squeezing? It was Rivian in that moment as well. Like Rivian, on the way back, it gave it up and lost VWAP. So when you have multiple names with the same profile, all going up on sympathy squeezes, whatever it might be, once they start to roll over, you got to look for the other direction. And this was the case. We ended up into Rivian, but we didn't get into Holo. That was a big missed opportunity because there was not a better, I mean, what are you going to do? The stock went from $8 to $4. Like, you're probably not finding a bigger flush than this off VWAP. And just to the halt, because this is all red bars from the VWAP fail. That's 8 to 6, and then it halts. Like, you basically fall, you know what, backwards into a 550. Now, ultimately, I'm just going to quickly end it with this. I was watching this with Obi as yesterday, this is where the inflection point happened in the middle of the day, was at $4. So I was eyeballing the $4 level the whole way. I'm like, please open up at $4. Please open up at $4. It ended up opening up just above $4. So I did go long when it broke the $0.50, and I've scalped most of it out into 550. It's to be able to get something out of this. If we break this halt price, I'll look for something in and around $7 as an out. I'm already trailing underneath that previous halt here at 556. So if it gets underneath this halt, then I am going to get out regardless. Otherwise, I'm just going to hold somewhere in the ether and keep trailing it. But the lesson here was you didn't have to look very far this morning to see reasons why these quantum names and low floaters were going to come in. IonQ led the way, QUBT, lower highs as well. So as strong as things looked on Rigetti, probably should have been willing to look for that short reversion that it could catch up because the risk to reward was fantastic. You're risking 20, 30 points and you've got $1.50 to the bottom. Sometimes you've got to be able to step away from the direction that you want to play and observe which direction the group is going. It's not just about big caps following each other and following the market. Sometimes these are going to follow each other as well. And you've got to be able to make that swing when that does happen. Holo just reopened, so just a quick update. It's now busted another halt price. All right, if it loses here, all right, bottoming tail wick is 580. I still have my stop at 555. If it can close this bar above 6, I move my stop to this higher low. Otherwise, we'll leave it at 555. So Holo on the rebound trail. This will be ridiculous if it goes back to green again. But your lesson of the day, make sure that you are willing to short, if you can, these massive reversions when these small cappers start going in the other direction. Got to be able to capture some, especially when it teed up like all of these quantum ones did this morning. Good luck, everybody.
Hope everybody enjoyed their Neilage of the day. Thank you very much, Neil Roberts, every day around that lunch hour. Neil's lesson of the day. Ram. It's ready. All right, Joseph, before we play it, so everything's moving autonomous. Waymo's throwing their hat into the ring. Obviously, Tesla's been doing it for a hot minute with FSD, but they want to throw their hat into the ring with fully autonomous coming up hopefully in 25. But Joseph, that's not the only thing autonomous that's on the road. I don't know if you've been to SoCal lately, but there's a lot of delivery, these mini delivery vehicles like deliver pizzas, they deliver alcohol, I think, even in some cases. Those are autonomous and they're driving on the sidewalks, people, robbing them.
I think I've seen a couple of these.
So here's this video. Now, hold on. I got to preface this, Ram. These are 3 different autonomous vehicles. The car that's recording is an FSD Tesla.
Okay.
It's going to record a Waymo I-Pace colliding with an autonomous fridge that's carrying drinks. Play the video right here.
Play it.
So keep your eye out on the top corner. See where that thing. Boom. Here it is. There it is. Boom. The F-Pace messes up the fridge. Play it again. Play it again, Brad. Here we go. This is the Waymo I-Pace making a right turn, and crossing is a fully autonomous fridge carrying pizza or whatever, and boom!
Bang.
So much for LiDAR being
LiDAR, the top of the class there.
Exactly.
All
Can we zoom in on that? You zoomed in on that pretty good. Oh, okay. The Tesla's
now we're
making a right turn.
we're driving it now.
Yeah. Look
We're
at
driving
this.
it.
Good jokes, bro.
All
I'm
right.
telling you, autonomous. We're not even close to being fully ready yet.
Bang.
Boom. Sorry, fridge. You're not getting your pizza today.
Yeah, that's what I would be more frustrated about, was not getting the pizza. If anything, I would be infuriated. Okay, I was gonna ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yep.
M series, AMG, or the Q series, Sport Q.
Okay.
I know you
So
got
it's the S, it's RS comparison. Then you have M, then you have AMG.
Yeah.
My old man's a Benz guy. I was never a Benz guy, only once.
All right.
So I'm gonna have to say AMG.
All right.
But I know M's got a lot of respect, and then the RS to me is third. But I mean, everybody has. I want to hear what you have to say about that.
I would go along those lines. Maybe I would go M series, AMG, and then the RS.
All right,
Sure.
all right.
I like M series.
What's
man.
wrong with
M3.
SVR too? How come we didn't throw SVR?
I don't
there?
even know what that is.
That's for Range Rover.
Oh, is
and
it?
Jaguar.
Yeah,
it's kinda like
Well, I don't know.
Special
Is it a
vehicle
part of those 3? Is it kind of that?
It is,
I mean,
man. My car is an SVR, bro.
But like German engineering-ish kind of.
Yeah, true, good point. Yeah.
So
no, but I always compare like your supercar class, like the ST for Ford, right? If you have that ST model, that's like the special fast version, I guess.
of everything.
And then what's the one for GM? The V's, right? It's like something CTS-V or whatever.
Okay.
So that's kind of like their special motors. AMG obviously is hand built, so are the I believe the M series motors are hand built as well. Let's see what everybody was saying about that whole thing there. Funny. The Hawk says Sharif has transportation on his brain. I mean, I guess, right? It's going to be kind of a big thing going forward. What else? Swirling brain. If you don't like how Waymo drives, stay off the sidewalk. That's hilarious. Yeah, I know, right? You gotta avoid everything. Yeah, self-driving is genius, says KKP. LiDAR, L-I-E, says Swirling Brain. I like that. The Exile, Wally getting slammed. Oh, he got slammed, all right. Let me tell you.
Yeah, Wally.
Oh, what else? Looks like the fridge ran the light. Yeah, that's the point, though. You're going to have dumbass people on the road, and the cars have to take account of these fantastic individuals that are on the road. What else? Harmon B, those machines would not do well in an Edmonton winter. Yeah, I bet, brother, I bet. I
wouldn't do well in an Edmonton winter, let alone a machine.
What about Winnipeg, Adara said?
Yeah, well,
I think they got you beat, though, Adara. I'm pretty sure Edmonton's colder than Winnipeg.
Winterpeg.
No? She says,
I don't know. It has the name Winterpeg. So
Winterpeg.
Yeah.
I like that.
Those are 2 provinces you most likely won't catch your boy in. I'm not going that way. It's too cold. I'm a southern folk, so I would be heading south. Yeah. Other than BC, you ain't catching me in.
I like Alberta.
You like Alberta? It's
I
nice.
like Alberta
nice.
because of the politics. I like Alberta because the no sales tax.
No sales tax.
Right? Lower property taxes.
So
I like Danielle Smith. She's the premier of Alberta.
Oh, she's going to the inauguration.
She's the only Canadian politician invited.
Crazy.
Your boy Dougie didn't even get an invite. He's a conservative. Right? He's fiscally conservative.
Yeah, whatever Dougie's up to.
Whatever Dougie's up to.
Yeah.
All right.
You see the governor she's like a potential governor of Tennessee. You see that girl?
No.
She's crazy or something. Yeah. I forget. I can't remember her name.
Christy Nome?
No, I think she has more of a Spanish the kind of last name. Yeah. You gotta look at this girl.
Yeah.
No, you gotta look at this girl. She's conservative to the fullest.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, here we go. Let's get back into some trading, baby. So here's what I did with ONCO. So ONCO came into the volume weighted average price. It was a buyer at 49. We scalped all the way up into 69s, but it came back into the volume weighted average price, breached it, so I got stopped out for the last remaining amount. I could absolutely be persuaded to get back into this one, but it's really, it's really this one that I want to focus more on, APM. So this one, as I mentioned, got wide ranges per candle. Let's get involved with this one as it has a bottoming tail into 6. Now, I'm willing to defend all the way into 5.5 over here on APM. It's been putting incrementally higher lows, but it's also had a lot of trouble breaking through $7. It's up 356% on the day. I guess we should put some respect on its dang name. But the point is, I'm trying to get it off key areas to get the best price. Let's see if we can ascend up again, maybe even have another opportunity to touch $7 and maybe get a break and take and a hold this time of that 7 area. I'm waiting at $0.25. Let's see if we can cross into that $0.25 area. It's been good. I mean, generally, we'll have to wait and see if this bottoming tail candle that we put in here means anything or just a quick print on our way down for a 5.5 break. So keeping my eye out on that, APM, as well as obviously the ones that we've been trading all day, BDMD, which is now below VWAP, and ONCO. As I see it, ONCO did defend, dang it, VWAP. So maybe I should have had my stop a little bit below that $0.50. Look to do a little bit better next time. Joseph, what do you got?
Hey, good stuff there, brother. We're just still holding on to this NVDA trade. We're waiting to see if we can continue this squeeze higher, folks. The overall market, I mentioned multiple times, sound like a broken record, but we're pretty weak on this session, all right? So just keep that in mind. We may not get those extended pullbacks that we are looking for, so we just have to be prepared and have a game plan in place in order to execute the way that we should and will on those types of trades. Now, guys, yesterday we didn't get quite to 1,000 votes on the Playmaker poll. Let's get those votes up. We want to hit that 1K target on the Playmaker poll. We're sitting at just under 300 right now. We still got a lot of time, about 45 minutes or so until we dock that trade. But I want to go into the new year with a W, and I hope you guys do as well too. So let's get those votes in on the Playmaker poll and choose wisely. As said, presented on the poll. And leading the way today, Sharif, is the shorts, 51% to 49%. So let's see if they can take over and we'd have our first potential short ever on the Playmaker poll. But guys, continue to let me know what you're looking at. Someone in the chat mentioned RCAT. Let's take a look at RCAT real quick here for everybody. RCAT, oh, wow, yeah, going to make another leg to the downside here. As you can see, we broke these key support levels on RCAT and still headed to the south side here. Put in an absolute beautiful day, but now we've given back the majority of those gains that yesterday's session had endured. So let's zoom out a little bit here and see where we're at. And yeah, I mean, with this run that RCAT has been on, that's totally fine. Like, this may be just a breath. If we can hold these support levels around $12, that's definitely positive. And then if you see the volume and the momentum step back in, then sure enough, maybe we can take that leg higher. But RCAT starting to pull in as well too there, folks, all right? So let's say AMD. Yeah, let's take a look at AMD for you real quick. It was strong early. I remember looking at it briefly in the opening drive. It was relatively strong, but now starting to give back a lot of the gains and holding these support levels around the 116, 117 area fairly well. I'm just waiting for this thing to tell us that it's ready to turn around. I think we need a little more positive reports. So coming earnings, let's see what Lisa Su and company has in store for advanced micro devices. And then we take it from there. As of right now, the sentiment of this stock is relatively weak. I wouldn't be looking for any extended or continuation plays to the long side until we get a couple positive catalysts under the belt on AMD. So just keep that in mind. That's what I'm specifically looking for. If you guys are looking for anything along those lines or something totally different than me, then please let me know. So if you think, why would fund managers want a lower S&P for year end, think mutual funds and bounces? I don't know. That's a good question. If I worked in the field, I can maybe answer that for you. But can you please check BA currently getting killed in calls? Yeah, absolutely. We'll look at BA before we send it back over to my guy. Boeing, you're getting killed in calls. Let's zoom in here real quick before we zoom back out. Okay, yeah, getting killed in some calls. Yeah, tough look there. I'm not too sure about your expiry if it's this week, but again, just look at this run that BA, going to zoom out now, just look at this run that BA's been on. really strong, so you may not get that continuation today. Hopefully you've given yourself enough time on those contracts that allows you to wait for this stock to kind of rebound. This is a really key candle, in my opinion, as we decide to pull back on an isolated volume signature. Let's see if we can hold this 169 level, this 170 level. And I do think that there's going to be some potential topside to Boeing, some continuous topside on Boeing. But as of right now, this is just a pullback. I wouldn't get too worried about it. The most important thing is time value on those contracts. So just make sure you give yourself enough time. You guys know I sell weeklies, but if I'm buying something, even just from an experimental standpoint, I'm just starting to realize if you think that you should give yourself 3 months, well, guess what? Give yourself 6 months, all right? Because you're going to need that time value. Yeah, it's going to cost you more on the chain, but it's worth it instead of allowing those contracts to expire money. And then within the last week or so, or 2 weeks or a month, your contract starts moving in the direction that you need it to, but too much time value has been chewed up on those contracts. So you can't be profitable, and you now need an extended move. So my opinion is always give yourself double the amount of time that you think that you need on options.
All right, I want to read what Angelo in the chat wrote. Canada will be the 51st state soon. So I disagree with that. But since you brought it up, there is this now, well, I don't even want to say it's being talked about widely. It's really Kevin O'Leary.
Is it Kevin?
Kevin O'Leary apparently headed down to Mar-a-Lago to meet with our friend, the Orange Man.
Yeah, Orange Man.
And the topic of discussion between Mr. O'Leary and Mr. Trump was what O'Leary is calling an economic union. I don't know what exactly that ends up being, IRL. He was trying to make it akin to the European Union and saying, you know, it's going to be similar to that. You share a passport. You've got, you know, whatever economic agreements together, more obviously than free trade and what we had before. So let me just throw this your way.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about an economic union where you keep your sovereignty as an individual country, but you're more kind of
involved
together?
I mean, I'm not going to complain. Like, if we can adapt some of the laws that the states has, then I'm not going to complain on that front.
Taxes.
Taxes, yeah, and other things.
Neil's giving us the nod,
and other things. You know what I mean? But you know what? I think
Yes,
this is just an ultimate troll job by Donald. Right? He knows there's weakness in the Trudeau caucus. Right? So again, he's just bullying kind of our government right now. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Apparently, the majority of Canadians would vote not in favor to join the United States.
In a full, like, as the 51st state. But according to O'Leary, I don't know what data he got, Joseph, so I'm not vouching for the data. But according to him, most Canadians want some sort of economic union where, again, you have your kind of sovereignty, but you pick up some of the benefits.
So if we pick up nothing but benefits, by all means, I'm not going to complain. I wouldn't mind joining the strongest economy and the best economy on the planet, right? So again, you can't really complain on that front. So I mean, hey, but again, I just mentioned I think we're kind of being bullied. Trump's bullying us because of the weakness within our own government ourselves. So yeah, that's it. I would, if we can adapt some laws, like you said, you know which ones I'm talking about. Then hey, by all means, sign me up.
I love it. I love this controversy. I love when you guys get into the chat. Let us know what you think. Be Free says Canada needs free speech and what? Right to arms. Sure. What else we got?
We do have right to arms.
We not like them.
Not like them, but we.
Somebody over here's got an arsenal.
Because we do. Trust me, we got the right. There's no doubt about it.
It's getting thinner and thinner. Let's join Canada instead. At least New England, Pacific Northwest, California, Colorado, New Mexico. I know. Okay, sounds good. What else we got over here? Bright Awakening. Be proud for Canada and the U.S. has the best reliable friendship long term. They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah,
good point. Fantastic point there. Come to Nevada. No tax on your hard work, says Crapstock. Love the sounds of no tax, brother.
Yo,
Trust me.
my days. Just imagine that. Canada adopted kind of one of the Caribbean countries that Canada was looking to adopt?
I don't know.
It wasn't Turks, was it? It was,
didn't even know
okay, this was a while ago. Okay, anyways, but yeah, but something like Puerto Rico, we have a nice, warm climate place where us Canadians can go retire and pay no tax. Man, life would be fantastic.
I didn't know anything about this, bro.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, chime it in. What Caribbean country was Canada looking to adopt? I don't know how. I know there was just like rumors and speculation about it, but I know there was in like talks and a bunch of news articles with Canada adopting a potential Caribbean country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Use of natural resources, Sankit. Yeah, I don't want to say we have unlimited natural resources, but we got plenty. Plenty of the stuff everybody's looking for, whether it's oil, whether it's rare earth elements for your batteries, your new gen batteries, lithium, cobalt. We got it in spades, baby. We got potash. We got unlimited amount of water. Let's just call that a spade a spade. We got a whole bunch of stuff up in this you know what. So people are saying Aruba.
Yeah, there's too many different answers. I don't think any of them are right. Someone said you can have Haiti.
Wow. Okay. I don't want to poop on that country, man. That poor country is
tough.
beat
Yeah,
down, man.
it's tough, man.
All right. Yeah, I love the comments here. Tom Anthony, plenty of snow, eh? Yeah, I got you there, Tom. I got you. Okay. We have Alaska, sure. But you can have more.
Yeah.
What else? An abundance of maple syrup, says Muy Cansado.
Yeah, muy
Sorry about
cansado.
that.
Very
Muy
tired.
Cansado. Oh,
Very tired, man.
Forgot about that.
Remember
You've been saying that for a minute.
Remember the maple syrup heist? Like millions and millions of dollars of maple syrup was stolen. Dude, what? Yeah.
Where have I been at?
Yeah, this is like maple syrup is a serious commodity, folks. Like this thing is like it is extremely now protected in Canada. And anyways, I think it was somewhere in like the East Coast, Nova Scotia or something. These dudes just stole like thousands of barrels of maple syrup worth millions and millions of dollars.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I don't don't know who you're gonna sell it to, but I think it was Turks and Caicos.
Was it?
Yeah, Turks and Caicos.
I never
Yeah,
heard about that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
so interesting. I love how you guys. I look at B Freeze making fun of her accent. I love how you guys say out and about, out and about.
No, the West
Okay,
Coast is brutal.
That's different.
Yeah.
If in Toronto, you're not gonna get much of a Canadian accent. Unless we say A and stuff like that. But you're not going to have the pronunciation that's distinctly Canadian. You either have to go out into the real countryside or you got to go like where nobody lives.
Alberta, like you really hear it out in Alberta, I think.
Oh, yeah. Probably Winnipeg.
Yeah, Winterpeg.
She doesn't hear us, so it's
Yeah, Winterpeg.
All right, guys. I'm loving the comments today, man. Tad Uko says Canadian whiskey. Yep, we got plenty of Canadian whiskey. Just ask Crown Royal, baby. I won't be having any of that tonight. No. What's your favorite drink, by the way?
Tequila.
Tequila. Okay. Any specific way you do it?
No, I'm on the rock. I'm an on the rocks type guy.
Fair.
Right. So I'll just take it straight or on a couple cubes in there.
You gonna have anything tonight?
Maybe we'll have a glass of wine or some champagne.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
Maybe the one that Obi got us. Don't poke the bear.
Oh, don't poke the bear. Yeah, maybe we'll
That's
crack
the
that
sickest
there.
wine bottle ever, bro.
Yeah.
You're the best name ever around here. With or without the worm. Oh, questions asked.
Ooh.
Can we get an answer?
I've never eaten the worm before.
Neither have I.
Yeah, but I heard it gets things a little crazy.
I like.
Yeah,
I like.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not allowed to have any Goldschlager.
So, oh, whoa.
I'm banned.
Goldschlager. Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that the one that did you
Things
dirty?
happen. Bad things happen when Goldschlager is consumed. Not that I've been drinking alcohol. I think I can count the amount of drinks I've had on one hand entire 2024.
Wow, that's crazy.
Literally. Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow,
not much of a drinker anymore.
Good on you. For me, that's vodka. I don't know how people drink that stuff. Barf.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no. When you're dieting, though, vodka water is...
vodka water.
Yeah, or whatever, if you want to have sprinkling or sparkling water,
guys.
I mean.
I see you.
All right, guys, I got stopped out of the remaining amount here on AAPM. Yeah, we'll get back to some trading. I tried to take a VWAP dip, as you guys can see there at the $0.50, broke down. So that's the end of my dalliance here with APM. But there's a new small cap gapper making its way onto the scene. It goes by the ticker BNRG. Let's bring it in and have a look at it. It's big boy moves to the high side right now on BNRG. I'm getting this one a little bit late. I saw it while it was on the way up, but we were kind of having that conversation. So, and besides, it's a chill day today. I don't even know why it's not a half day, but All good there. BNRG, it's at VWAP right now. It just momentarily breached below that volume weighted average price into that $1.82. VWAP hanging out mid-90s, 194 and change. Look, I don't want this one to be a V-shaped retracement where it has a nice move and then it just gives back the entire move back down into that $1.25, $1.33. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to obviously keep this on the side chart, but if it holds VWAP on a second candle basis, so the current candle right now, if it closes above VWAP and then that second candle also does as well, we're going to punch long over here. BNRG getting its best move in the midday. Look at that volume spike right at 12:05. It started moving. I mean, it did a little bit here in the earlier time slot around 8:30. It got off the schneid at $1 or whatever. It closed out yesterday. Got into that $1.33. Did nothing essentially from 8 or 9 p.m., all the way to about 12. And then somebody hit the buy program, and now it's trying to hold that VWAP, though. South of $2 is BNRG. Definitely going to keep this one on watch. Separately, BDMD worked its way back above the volume-weighted average price, but it is having issues with 6. And if I can make this observation, we're still putting in lower highs. Above VWAP or not, or otherwise. We're still putting in lower highs vis-a-vis this topping till candle. So you want to definitely, if you're going to punch along and you're punch along with some shares here to make some money, you definitely want to see a decided trend change. And I'll submit to you, this is not a decided trend change with the lower low effect still in force. So definitely keeping my eye on these small cap gappers. If they kind of want to reignite and get going again, absolutely be willing to get involved. But right now, I'm not liking anything that I'm seeing in small cap gapper world. I've got my scanner on the top screen, as viewers of the show will know. So I'm always looking up to see if there's anything new coming on. And that's how I found out about BNRG, but nothing right now that I like. So, holy cow. The inverse MSTR is at day's high. Adair, are you still in that short? You got stopped out because is it at lows right now? It just cracked 90. I was just checking with Adair because she was short MSTR for $110 winner this morning.
Micro strategy.
Micro strategy. I like that. So I'm keeping my eye out on these two, Joseph. But BDMD is making a move here. Hey. So it's starting to move up aggressively. So this lower high situation, I mean, we changed that trend decidedly above $7, okay? Because this candle here at 1140 on the 5-minute, that's the rejection of 7, and that's what I'm gauging as an area crest. So in order to change the lower high trend that we're on, we need a break and take a 7. Despite the fact that it is above the trend line and it is now making a new high above the previous 5-minute candle. I'm talking about BDMD up 500% essentially. Definitely interested in getting back into this one, but I need to see a bit more. Be free. $2 super chat. Dang. Short nuke from 40. Sell or add. Thinking 30. You want to look at that one?
Nuke, absolutely.
And UKK.
Yeah. Let's go. Was that on the super chat?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Nuke. Okay, nuke from 40. Sell or add. Thinking 30. All right. Well, I like the description. Let's see what we got going on here. Nuke. Oh, okay. From 40, seller add, thinking short nuke from 40, thinking, I mean, man, that's a tough one. I mean, you're in the money about $2.50 right now, so congratulations to you. Thinking 30, let's zoom in a little bit and see what today's price action is bringing us. Okay, not the most liquid thing. That's for sure. So let's zoom out real quick. Again, one thing is about the 30 price target is that you're going to have to run through this support, right? Not saying that it won't happen. I mean, the run that it's been on has been astronomical, essentially. So again, this pullback may be a little deeper than anticipated. So if you decide that you want to it breaks these 34, 33 kind of support levels, then sure enough, you might get that $30 price target. But just be wary of these support levels. That's all I can say. But just continue to hold on to a position that is working. If it's working, no need to let it go. So just keep riding that wave until it tells you otherwise, until something signals you to either get out or take some profits, or to add into the positions, right? So again, just wait for those specific signals. If you do think that it's going to continue to the downside and you break those key support levels, sure enough, add. add into the position, take some profit, add, and then continue on that downwards path. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on Nuke. Just wait and see and wait for those key levels to come into play, and then you can make decisions based off of them. But guys, something that I'm waiting for.
What?
Is Sharif.
Oh.
Let's go.
What is that, my bit?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
We're starting to sell a little bit here, folks. I shouldn't be getting too giddy because even though I do want to grab some more, but let's wait and see. We got these key support levels coming up as well too. Put in a really nice recovery session yesterday. I liked how Sharif mentioned, hey, is this a potential bull trap? Yeah, maybe. I thought that it was because this squeeze was insane, and then shortly after, in the aftermarket hours, it just gave everything right back in about half that span of time. So again, let's continue to monitor what IBIT and Bitcoin is up to. I do think that we break the key support levels around that 92K, 90K price target on Bitcoin. So I think let's pull up Bitcoin here real quick. Yeah, okay, so we're on the 5-minute here with Bitcoin. Let's zoom out here a little bit here, folks. Okay, so yeah, so as you can see, we put in this really nice hammer. This made me feel a little bit of FOMO because I let go of a couple of shares right at the bottom, which was slightly frustrating, 20%, maybe not even or so. But again, we decided to sell back down to those key levels again. So let's see if that breaks. I think if it breaks, then we're gonna see the next level will be 87 and then probably 85 from a psychological standpoint, right? Are we gonna get back to 80? Maybe. That can happen in a span of a couple days. But again, I'm just gonna wait for this to break down. If it decides that it wants to break down, then I'm gonna look for those distinctive turnaround signals, Sharif. And then when we see those signals from a daily standpoint, that's when we're gonna swing the bat extremely hard on this thing.
All right, man, let's have a look at the future right now and the Mag 7 in general. Everything is continuing to bleed to the downside. Meta at day's lows. Get in here, Katina, man. All right, brother. All right, man. There we go.
Hi, my guy.
Happy early New Year's, obviously. I'm not going to obviously say.
You got any hockey this week? You got any hockey coming up for the New Year's or what?
There's we're going to the PWHL game.
Oh yeah, nice.
And then there's a family skate tomorrow. So
Family scale.
I'll be there.
Take care,
easy,
Katina, man, brother.
yeah.
Hope everything is good and the fam is even better. All right, guys, let's have a look at the Mag because everything is bleeding to the downside. Apple at day's lows. Amazon at day's low. We'll get into 1 second. Meta at day's low, Joseph. We just printed the low of day right now on Microsoft. Everything bleeding to the downside, NVIDIA included. Who's faring the worst out of the bunch? NVIDIA down over 2%. Tesla down 1.64%. Those are the worst two. The best faring on the day is Amazon, only down half. And then Goggles down 2/3 at Apple. 0.75% there. So everything headed to the downside. A lot of weakness today in these markets. Let's keep an eye out on that as the blood continues to be shed here. Let's keep an eye out on APM. I'm still very interested in getting back into this one if it is able to reclaim the volume weighted average price. BNRG kind of gave up VWAP, so I'm no longer interested in that. Keeping my eye on that $2 level on BNRG, and ONCO also bleeding to the downside. It's really BDMD. That's the only one that's interesting me right now because it's the only one that's above the volume weighted average price. But the problem with that one is it's still continuing to make lower highs if you were to base your area off that $7 crest. So I've got nothing to get into at the moment, and I do apologize. Usually we're in a few positions by now or during this time, but there is nothing to my liking and nothing really making moves that I can kind of get behind. Okay, now, having said that, let me qualify it with this. HCTI just halted to the upside, I believe. Yes, it is. Halted at $1.43. It's up 73%. But by today's standards in small cap gapper world, 73% is light. But it is the second winner now, or the second highest winner percentage-wise since we rang the bell. So I got two columns, percentage winners from 4 a.m. and percentage winners from 9:30 a.m. This one is second on my list only to BDMD in terms of percentage winners since 9 a.m. So HCTI definitely going to be in focus. As I mentioned, though, halted at $1.43. We're going to have to wait for that bad boy to open. I don't know exactly when it halted, and I haven't checked either. So this one halted to the upside, 73%. Definitely interested to see if we can weasel into a trade like that, Joseph.
Hey, Sharif, we got another $5 super chat from Dragos. Sup, young fellas. I'm retiring from my job today at the age of 49. Alex Karp and PLTR has granted me financial freedom. Happy New Year's. No, Happy New Year's to you. Let me know where the party is, because if you have financial freedom, call us up. Hopefully you live somewhere warm. We can come and join you and endure in some of that financial freedom with you, my guy. But no, congratulations on the ripe age of 49, retiring. Hopefully you spend that wisely or don't spend it at all, and go and travel the world if you haven't already. So yeah, congratulations to you. That's good to hear. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Dragos. And hopefully you didn't sell. Did you sell all your PLTR or what did you do? Let us know. Chime in, write in your super chat, kind of what you did with some of those PLTR shares. But I mean, congratulations to you, and I'm curious to know what your average price was on those. All right, so I mean, your financial freedom. My guy must have been heavy and must have been in there for a long time. So once again, congratulations to you. Hopefully that is exciting, and welcome to the new chapter of your life. It's starting in the new year. What a great time to do so. But yeah, guys, got out of NVDA here, folks. Yeah, John, we gotta let me know. We're gonna come and party. It's New Year's, so maybe he can fly us out or something along those lines. Yeah, take the PJ. Thanks to Alex Karp and company. But yeah, guys, here we are. We got out of here, and good thing we did, because we decided that we wanted to sell significantly more here. This market is continuing to the downside with SPY tanking. So it's dump city, as Neil likes to call it. I think something along those lines. But yeah, not looking too pretty. Let's take a look at the Playmaker poll, guys. We only got 20 minutes left, 300 more votes. Let's get that to 1,000. But it is another neck-and-neck race. Who is going to edge this win out here, Sharif? I don't know. It's 51% to the short side and 49% to the long side. Let's see what these next 300 votes bring us, and if we decide that we would want to go long. I voted long, I'm pretty sure. I don't even remember, to be honest with you.
I voted short.
I voted long. Why? Because I like that the market was selling, and I want to look for a potential bounce in this, all right? So I think at some point, even though the volume by time profile is starting to pick up a little bit here, I think at some point we're gonna bottom. I could be totally wrong, but if we can catch that bottoming signal and be patient, wait for that signal to be able to be identified and really stand outish, then we're gonna look to play that retracement back towards the volume weighted average price. But as of right now, that volume is stepping into the downside, and we are continuing that movement to the southeast. So that's something that we definitely need to keep in mind. And with NVDA and some of these mega cap tech stocks continuing to sell, I know Amazon is selling a lot too here, so we got to keep that in mind. If they want to go south, then the rest of the market, unfortunately, is going to head with it. So let's zoom out a little bit here on Amazon. And I mentioned this from time and time again. This is one stock that I wish that I got into significantly earlier, but I didn't. So and I'm happy with kind of my holdings right now. But again, I think if I was going to pick up one or two things, it would be Walmart and Amazon. But we'll pull back a little bit here. Let's see how far off the highs we are off of Amazon. It's only about 6%, and the market is, I mean, a lot of analysts are saying, hey, the market is due for a 10% correction. So, I mean, let's see. If we do get that, I think a lot of individuals, a lot of investors, a lot of swing traders, and even intraday traders are going to look to buy those dips in this market, because, I mean, there is some tailwinds for the broader market leading into 2025. Other than kind of the interest rates and the FOMC, do you see any headwinds for the overall market? And maybe tariffs.
Yeah.
And maybe tariffs.
And I don't know. Look, I wasn't trading in 2016 to 20, kind of. I caught the tail end of Donald Trump's first presidency. But from what I'm hearing a lot from traders online is it's wild. Tweets are going to move the market. Well, whatever X is or whatever it's called now. Because, you know, I don't know. I think he might be a little bit more subdued this time around. He seems a bit more subdued, not as combative And
even though he wants to buy essentially every country.
but he's not, like he's not as combative though. But yeah, he still comes out with his great ideas.
Yeah.
That's not the point. The point is, what I'm trying to say is kind of it's a very volatile time. Again, I didn't trade during it, but from what I understand is you can wake up and the market can be down 2% off a tweet. Right, and whatever the situation is there. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's not bad for day trading because we look for intraday volatility, whether it's up or down, right?
Yeah. So you're familiar with Steve Leisman, obviously, on CNBC.
Yeah, the boss guy.
And and you know what? He had a really good point too, and I like this point. He said, okay, so his portfolio consists of some bonds, obviously sensitive to interest rates, right? And then he's like, but then I own equities that are also sensitive to the current overall market and the interest rates.
Right.
So he's like, how do I get exposure to something that is less interest rate sensitive? Because we know how these stocks and how the overall market is reacting to these interest rates. There is none, right? It's like, where do you go?
Every investment has to be, well, I don't want to say every, but it's always a mathematical calculation, right? About interest rates are causing this type of effect, whether it's in equities, bonds, crypto, even crypto, right? It's so super interest rate sensitive. Great conversation. But we have to send it to Adara at the big desk quickly, and then we'll finish that.
Yeah, for sure.
So to let you guys know here, we have another Trader TV Research original graphic here. Follow us at TTV Research on X. Here we're taking a look at Palantir. Yesterday we posted the SMCI chart. We talked about it this morning as well, but if you can take a look here on X, you can see all of the highlights on Palantir's journey from $8 to joining the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. So take a look there. You can check it out, TTV Research on X. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara. Yeah, guys, I forgot to mention. Look, we're at 250 on Apple. We're at 21.2 on the Future. I'm like, all right, let me just see if that 250 defend wants to work. I already scalped a little bit out. We're not going to give this much room, if at all. A break of 250, a decided break of like that 249.90, and I'm gone. We'll look to scalp. I'm trying to front run this one, knowing full well I'm against the trend here. It's a 250 attempt at a support level, with 21.2 being awfully close as well. So not putting too much stock into this one, but pardon the pun. But yeah, we're gonna give this one a try. I appreciate you, Adara. Sharif is 100% authenticity, bro. I do not lie, but you know, some people don't like that, because if you tell them what they don't want to hear, well, then they're upset. No, but to build on your point, bro, whether you're buying art, wine, you have to assume that rates influence your decision of what to buy, because it influences the cost of money, the cost of borrowing, the opportunity cost lost in other investments. So I don't know. I'm just speaking off the cuff here. I feel that kind of interest rates affect everything around.
I totally agree. And just another thing to touch on that. So I remember earlier in the market when we were kind of just at the beginning of this new monetary policy, raising of interest rates. And do you think we're at the stage where good news is bad news? You know how when we were in that where it's like bad news is good news. So do you think that the kind of everything has flipped, and then now we're back into the front where good news is essentially bad news? Or
I think we've flipped back to normal. I don't know. Because we didn't want jobs to come in strong, because it was going to push inflation, it was going to push down the rate cuts. I think we're back into that kind of equilibrium area, right? Okay. Look, the States is faring a lot better than most other developed countries right now. They're booming, their economy's strong, stronger than Canada, stronger than England,
it's the strongest on the planet.
Right. Yeah, and it's recovering a lot better than some others. So we're in that phase where I don't think we're, like as Jerome Powell said, we're not going to get aggressive rate cuts as much as we thought we would last year.
Well, and that's one more thing here before we get back to the stocks.
Yeah, go.
Why is one thing I didn't understand, so at the peak of interest rates, the market was pricing in like 9 cuts. They had like 6 or 7 cuts priced in for 25. What is the minimum cut here? Like, how you can't be cutting 25 basis points at pretty much essentially every meeting, or 50 basis points. No, that doesn't make sense.
Well, I don't think they thought they were going to recover in this way. I just don't think that they thought the economy would remain as robust, jobs would remain as strong. And I don't know. But clearly they had a different outlook as to what the economy would be currently and into 25 than what they're forecasting now. And that's okay. You know, personally, I think we need the rate cuts on this side of the border more than they need it down south, specifically because of housing. We got COVID mortgages coming due in 25 and 26.
Yep.
Those are going to be markedly higher than what the interest rate that they got was.
Yep.
If you just explain something to you guys, we have 5-year mortgages on this side of the border. You guys have 30. So every 5 years, we need to worry about new interest rates coming or mortgages coming due and them being refinanced, rolled over at higher rates. The problem is you could be in a home that you can no longer afford. You don't meet the stress test at that point. A stress test is basically this test that the government forces banks to give everybody who applies for these mortgages. If you don't meet the stress test, you're going to be forced to sell. And so we were worried about that, about people being forced out of their home, having to sell, depreciating prices, obviously, because that increases the supply of homes. So that was what we were worried about. You guys don't have that problem.
Yeah, nor do they have variable mortgages.
And they don't. And they have
right,
these 30 years locked in at 2%. They're not worried, right? This side, everybody's sweating. You know what I mean? So a completely different look at food,
Food.
Sorry,
This
I'm reading
guy's hungry.
the chat. Nah, someone wrote can't afford food. Yeah, completely different look at the economy on this side of the border and obviously different considerations there. But I think that the States is holding up far better, likely as a result of this AI tailwind, man. I mean, there's just so much coming in with that.
Yeah, okay, one last thing. How much debt is too much debt?
Oh, boy. Yeah, I think
from an American, right?
Have way too much.
Right. So at one point, is it going to topple the economy because you can't just keep piling on more debt?
That's a tough one.
Right. Like how much debt is too much debt?
Yeah, we keep kicking the can down the road, and by doing that, you're passing on the buck to the next generation who's going to have to shoulder this. So I personally don't like it, but then again, can you cut spending? I mean, what are you going to do? Where are you going to cut from?
Yeah.
Let's see what people are saying here in the chat. Big Spile, only those with great credit can get 30-year fixed. Thank you. Did not know that, brother. I guess my sister's got great credit. 5-year mortgages, when do you ever own it then? Well, you keep rolling it over, brother. I mean, a lot of people, because of the nature of mortgages here, they really focus on paying down their mortgage quicker than obviously the 25-year amortization that we have. They try to pay it off quicker by, paying off the interest portion and then actually being able to pay down the equity. But you're right, like, certain families can do it, certain families can't. You're going to have to actually go the entire 25 years paying off the loan. It's obviously a bit of a tougher look there. Let's see what else people are saying. Yeah, people living on credit cards. Man, I love the comedy hour. Oh man, I don't know if that's a compliment or not. From this individual called Tony. Who else we got? Chaos is a ladder, calls on Home Depot, says El Sol. I love that. What else? What else we got over here? Runs, Biden did well. Hold on your butts for incoming. Shout out to you as well. Pretty Pandas watching LITM2. Slow ATM at the moment. I'm still involved in Apple. What I'm doing is I'm trying to catch the bounce off that 250 on Apple to see if it'll hold. It's definitely not rocketing up by any means, shape, or form, but it's not breaching that level either. So keep an eye out on that. What else we got over here? U.S. has $1 trillion plus in credit card debt. Yeah, my understanding is you guys are at all-time highs with respect to credit card debt, but that's to be expected because the economy is growing. So you can't have a growing economy typically without the debt rising as well. Usually they move hand in hand. But yeah, good point there.
At what point is it has to stop at some point, or do you just keep
sovereign debt is different than credit card debt. Credit card debt,
sovereign.
Sovereign debt is a whole.
But again, what point is it going to crumble? Like I don't know. Is it a house of cards? Like you can't just keep stacking up the debt. I don't think.
That's the thing, brother. I mean, it's a tough look there.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know what their breaking point is. I don't know what percentage of the GDP they have as debt now. I think it was a third.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
something like that.
All right, well, hey,
or is that the budget deficit? I think it's a third of GDP, their budget deficit.
Okay.
What else people are talking about there in the chat? Escape Planet. So Canadian banks make a killing off of mortgages. Yes. That's the answer to that.
A lot of things too.
Yes, absolutely. What else we got? Delinquencies are rising both in auto and credit card in the USA, says Trader Forever. Absolutely accurate. I always keep an eye on that. When the banks on this side of the border, which are very well capitalized, and they definitely weathered the financial crisis a lot better than American banks. However, they're not going to have outsized years like American banks can have as a result of their conservative nature. But I always keep an eye out on delinquencies, both auto and mortgage, as well as credit cards. Credit cards usually you can get data month over month, while the other ones usually are waiting on the quarterly basis. So yeah, good point. We haven't gotten to the point where it's you're really at like 30 or 40-year highs, but we are at, I think, decade highs for both home mortgage delinquencies as well as car loan delinquencies. In fact, one of the banks on this side of the border that you guys have, mostly in the Midwest, called BMO, which stands for Bank of Montreal, they got out of car loans altogether. They shut down their entire car loan division. They don't want any of that smoke no more. So yeah, point well taken. Point well taken. All right, Eddie R. All countries have their pros and cons, but hearing you talk of Canada is like you guys don't have health insurance covered or other things. No, we do. We do. It's not the greatest, obviously, especially if you're waiting for more complicated procedures like MRIs and other things that are costly. But, you know, if you want to go to your family doctor, walk-in clinics, that's obviously readily available everywhere. You just show your card, which is issued by the province, and you're good to go. But to let you guys know that a lot of family doctors don't want to work in this country, namely because of the taxes. And now there's new capital gains laws that they're not happy about. So they go down south. And our doctors get trained in Canada, and then they weasel on over to the United States to get paid more, obviously with these HMOs and whatever you guys have down there, as well as pay less tax in certain jurisdictions, obviously. So
Kevin's not happy about the new capital gains tax.
Of course is not, man. I mean, most people, their wealth is tied to real estate, right? And so they haven't taken away the capital gains on your primary residence, but that could come. Yeah. Right? Like they haven't done that yet, but that could come. Now, I don't think the current government stays in power long enough to be able to do that. But, you know, that was definitely on the table, Joseph.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. That's irking, too, because he's right. He made a solid point. When you just keep raising the capital gains tax, it almost makes the country uninvestable, right? So why would anybody want to invest their money here and have to pay an absurd amount of tax on half of their return, opposed to just going to invest somewhere else? I mean, yeah, you get the Canadian economy, but you guys know that we're not doing too good. We had, was it like not even a 1% GDP growth in the previous quarter? So
exactly.
There's
sub one.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of another thing that I wanted to point out too. That's why, again, trading American equities and stocks, we talk about the economy, but it's easily the best economy because the growth is there, the growth aspect is there, just from a liquidity standpoint as well too. That's why, like for me, it's not worth investing in China where you have the CCP or whatever they're called there. It's just like you don't want to work against those people. You don't want to be going into a country where they're going to continue to raise tax on you. So that's why I think America is just a great vehicle in place to invest your money and park your money for the long term. And even EU is tough at times as well too, right? Germany's economy isn't doing that good apparently either. So again, yeah, thankful to be neighbors to the Americans and have the ability to trade these markets on a reasonable time there, folks. But hey, we're in some NVDA. Back to stock talk here, folks. We're in some NVDA off the bottom. We broke this resistance. Let's see if we can slowly start to recover. Again, I'm going to vote. I'm going to point out that volume by time profile. Not looking too pretty on the 5-minute. It is slowly starting to pick up here on the 1-minute. I know, Shreve, you're still in Apple. Is that correct? Yeah, hovering at the bottoms. All right, so yeah, the market is starting to slowly recover. Guys, 907 votes. Wow. 50-50 at 900.
No way.
Yeah, dude, that is insane. I've never seen this. Okay, we're going to close the poll in 3 minutes. We're going to close the poll in 3 minutes. Let's get this to 1,000 votes. This is the closest neck-and-neck race I've seen thus far. This is absolutely insane. 50%. Guys, get those votes in. We're going to get that to 1,000. We'll call it 1,000 flat. Or maybe if it's still 50-50 at 1,001, that's it. The winner it's decided at that point, guys. So get those votes in. 80 more. Oh, look, now they're just climbing. How are we still at 50-50? This can't be updated. But anyways, guys, slowly starting to pull back on the overall market here. The SPY slowly crawling towards the volume-weighted average price. Not quite there yet, but a nice engulfing candle. I'm going to point out the volume by time profile once again here, dwindling as we start to appreciate here in price. So we just need to keep that in mind. Are we going to trade up towards the volume-weighted average price and then slowly start to curl back over again? Maybe, possibly. That's definitely a potential play as well, too. Do we even get to that, to the VWAP? I think there's going to be some key resistance at this 586.75 level. If we punch through that, then I think we can continue to the top side. But as of right now, the market is slowly starting to recover, I think being led by NVDA here.
Absolutely, yeah. NVIDIA looks like the best of the bunch. Apple, quite anemic here with that $0.50. I'm long at 15s. We went the beak there in the mid-40s. Now I'm waiting in the mid-50s, but it's really having trouble. And quite frankly, it's still below the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart. Here it comes. We just breached 50 on the ask for like a 1 second, and then down we go again. So Apple seeming like it is quite anemic. Quite frankly, it is. It is the worst one right now, if I could say so, in terms of a bounce than all the other Mag 7 names. It's the only one that hasn't touched at least the 10 exponential. Case in point, Amazon at the 20, breaching the 20. Meta at the 20. Microsoft well above the 20, looking to take out 424. Google at the 20. The NQ above the 20. NVIDIA about to touch the 20. And then Tesla kind of anemic, a little bit like Apple, just breaching the 10. Okay, so we just popped into the 60s. So we're doing well here on the dead one. We just took out some at 55s. It's now time, Joseph, obviously, to set up at 69. So see if we get the print there. Bang! We get the print at 69s. Let's see if we can run up a little bit more now. On AAPL, it was a 21,208 bounce and pop, and we are now above 21,300. We're still well below VWAP, and we're still negatory on the day. To go green, we're going to have to work above that 21,400 mark. I'm talking about the NQ March contract. So it probably behooves me to have another beak wetter here for Apple. You know where I'm going to sit. I'm going to sit at 88s come what may. Otherwise, I'm going to let this come all the way down into that 250 area. So still negative on the day, not putting too much hope into the long here in a recovery like into 21,500. We're still seeing lower lows and lower highs in the general trend on all the Mag 7. So if you can kind of see that, we're putting in those lower highs, lower lows. Nothing really has changed for me anyway on the futures. To change the lower high trend, we need to work up above that 21,302. I'm basing it off this 1150 area crest that we rejected at 21,360. If we can work above there, then that would be a new area crest and a marked change in trend. We have to send it to Adara at the big desk with crypto.
Take a look here at crypto. Because it's the last day of the year, we're going to continue doing kind of year in review type segments today. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. We're going to look at the 12-month charts. Bitcoin here, as you can see, we had quite the breakout, but it's interesting enough here. Bitcoin to USD, not a lot as much volume comparatively this year anyway, from what I can tell on this chart on Binance. And maybe I'm looking at this incorrectly. I need to take a look at this more properly perhaps, but great breakout here either way to that 108 new all-time high. This is a huge year for Bitcoin in a lot of ways. We got spot Bitcoin ETFs. That's going back to the start of the year. We also had now Gary Gensler stepping down as SEC chair. We're going to make room for Paul Atkins, who's viewed as very bullish for crypto. So it's been a great year for Bitcoin. You can see that here with this push into new all-time highs. We're going to start 2025 with what looks like a pretty bullish candle on the year for 2024. Now it's time for Ethereum to USD, which is also looking pretty bullish here. There's clear support if you go to 2022 to 2023 here, that around $1,200 level. As of right now, we still struggle with that 4,000. We broke above it. We made a little bit of a double top on the daily, if you recall. As of right now, though, despite that resistance around 3,600 on the closing basis, going to close here right below 3,400 on the year. And last but not least, we have XRP to USD. That is Ripple. This one is, I would say this is a rounded bottom chart. And what's even better, it looks like we're going to close the slightly higher high than we had when we previously started this pattern here, 2017, 2018 on the year. That being said, it's still, I guess, a little bit removed here from all-time highs, but interesting look here. Nice fundamentals for XRP. It's also worth noting we're to close above that previous resistance level that we had as the top in 2021. Make sure, guys, that you vote for our last poll of the day, the rundown poll, or not last poll of the day, but last poll of the midday. That's going to be opening around now. You have 4 tickers to choose from, and the top 5 between that poll and our other rundown poll at 11 a.m. will be featured on the market recap. Back to you. No, on the rundown. Oh my gosh.
Hey, where are we going? We're going back to us? All right. We're doing it live, all right? We're doing it live. Yeah, guys, nice little grab off the bottom here on NVDA. Slowly starting to take some off the top here. Slowly starting to recover as well too, guys. But again, we got the votes in, and wow, the longs just edged it out once again there, Sharif. So I want to document this one here real quick.
Here we go.
Here we go. Who, Kyle? What do you say?
Oh no, we're gonna do the playmaker.
All right, we're gonna do the play. All right, I thought Kyle had something. I thought the shorts were gonna win today. That's absolutely insane. Guys, wow, 50 to 49%. That is definitely the closest. It was neck and neck, 50-50 there at that point. I got to work on this equity curve here, guys. It's not as pretty as I don't know what's going on with it. So I got to sort. There's something wrong with the cumulative here. So I got to fix that. I'm pretty sure. Let me see if this is not going to do anything right now. But again, okay. Yeah, maybe it did. But anyways, we got to figure out what's going on with that, and we will get it sorted. But Sharif, let's document the trade. My guy.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
587.03.
587.03.
Out.
Oh, wow. I got
our
hold
stop.
On.
Yeah.
587.03. Our stop loss being
586.03.
586.03.
And then we're going to take profit at 589.03.
589.03, folks. Yeah. All right. So you see it there first-handed. Hey. You see what we're in. December 31st here. 2024, the final day of 2024 has been an absolute fantastic
rocket. 23
year.
and 24 have been two rocket ship years.
2 rocket ship years off the bottom.
Best years, they're saying, since 97, 98, the last time we had 2 years back-to-back.
It was like 20%. Wasn't it like 20% back-to-back each year?
Well, the S&P, I'm pretty sure, is up 28% year-to-date. Okay, so the SPY, I don't know what the actual index, the SPX.
Okay, you have that there.
The SPY is up 24 and 2/3.
There you go. So yeah, beautiful.
And then
stuff
here,
there.
let's see what the Qs are up.
With the Qs, let's see what the
triple Qs are up 48%. Bro.
Wow.
48. Am I right on that? No, excuse me. Triple Qs. That's incorrect. It's 25. Okay. Sorry. So the Qs and the SPY are very similar. Kind of surprised by that. I thought that the NQ would definitely be higher, maybe because we pulled back a little aggressively today.
And I mean, last year's gains as well too. Yep. So is there anything? Yeah, is there anything else you can really ask for? We're up a 20% year.
Yeah, like 30%.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's insane. So,
yeah, ask for it. Yeah, greedy.
Well, now we're gonna get. Yeah, exactly. Well, we know what happens there. But now let's see. Are we gonna get that 10% pullback that a lot of people are anticipating?
We'll see. We'll see. I don't mind that too much, man. Especially, I think that we're gonna have a good tailwind, whether it's through deregulation or expansion of other areas that are burgeoning right now, robotics, autonomous. I think there's a lot of tailwinds in tech, but it's really tech centric.
Yeah, and I think so. It's definitely driven by tech. I think with all the capital expenditure, we were talking about DeepSeek earlier. Yeah. Right. So, but I think just from an American standpoint, all that CapEx expenditure on the AI programs is eventually going to start really paying off. And we mentioned this yesterday as well too. I think we're just at the beginning of this stuff. We might even be at the what's the thing that you do, the dial thing that you would hit.
What do you mean?
Old time you'd used to communicate.
Rotary?
The Morse code. Morse code. Yeah. I think we're exactly. I think we're still in that stage of the AI.
I gotta agree with that. So, yeah. All right, man. We're still involved in Apple here, but let me tell you, it's a 3-candle lower high situation on the 5. Here's what I'm looking at. So you get that nice move up, you hold 250, you get all the way up into about 250 and 3/4. And now we have lower high, lower high, lower high right now. But we also have, on the other side of the coin, higher lows. So I don't want to be quick to take it out, but I'm very, I got the feeling that this is a rejection of the 10 exponential, right? And then we come into the 10 exponential and then we start rounding all the way back down into that 250. Well, I'll have to wait and see. I'm going to pack my patience. I've got 15 long. Sorry, the position board currently not working right now, but once I take a fill, it is, my bad. I just have to take a quick fill. I'm waiting at 88, so I'm not going to take anything out over here until it moves up into 88. So I'm long Apple 250.15. We're printing in the 70s now. Again, having really a lot of trouble taking out that $0.75. So I'm going to pack my patience, see if we can get up into 88s. But the future, still below, and the NQ March contract is what I'm talking about, still below that 21,360. That is my area that I've earmarked for what I perceive to be a trend change of lower highs. Because if we get above that 21,360, in my estimation, that is a newer high, a new area crest. And if that's the case, then we could easily work back into 21.4, and by extension of that, we could be back into at least break even, if not positive on the day. That's got to go above that 21,417. That is where we closed out yesterday. Topping tail candle right now looks like a bear trap here on the dead one Apple. It forces you in with another high above this candle and right back down you go. Technically, still though, another higher low, even though it has made another higher high, but it looks like it's really flushing to the downside. Apple looks awfully weak lately. The Friday, yesterday, and now today, Apple has been selling off aggressively after that 260 bump and drop. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what the situation is for the mag on the day. But it does not look good if you're a long. But if you're big spile Burdette and you're taking everything short, baby, you are just unable to count the amount of money you're making on the day, because it's been a strong day for the shorts, no doubt about it. I'm keeping an eye also on BDMD here, because it's been doing a hold of the volume weighted average price since about 12:30. So we're going on 40 minutes now of this one holding the volume weighted average price on a closing basis. Now, this candle over here at 12:40 breached it super quick on a wick basis, but was able to come back and actually close far higher than the VWAP. So I'm unsure whether or not to get in at around 5 1/4, maybe 5 2/3, build my position at VWAP here on BDMD. Yeah, maybe that's not a bad idea. I'm going to have to give it room, likely about 20 to 30 pennies worth of room if I am to do that. So we'll load up BDMD. I think I've already got it up on a trading screen. Yeah, here it is. BDMD, yeah, it's putting lower highs. Seems to have some sell in here at around 640, 6 1/3. But that 5 3/4, 5 2/3 is staring at me right now as an area support level. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to approach this, Joseph. What are you looking at, bro?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here in NVDA, just letting it slowly grind higher, like the overall market here. So let's see if we can go and push that 136 price target that we're kind of aiming for, and then maybe we'll punch all out of the trade. John, are they trading 100-share blocks, or is that the only to make tracking easy? Yeah, we do one lots for the Playmaker pool just to keep it simplistic. One lot, one options contract. As I mentioned before, maybe we'll do a little bit of an experiment within the pool of just buying a flat-out contract at that time and then seeing what happens. From that standpoint as well too. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what's happening with the SPY here, folks. I know we've been talking about it quite a bit here, but is this going to be a little consolidation phase? These are two fairly strong engulfing candles here. Really strong bullish price action on these two prints. So let's see if we can hold this key support level here. We now punched through it. And now if we can hold that 586.75 level, I do think that we can take that second leg and then potentially go and test the volume weighted average price. So again, let's just be a little patient, see if we get that recovery in the market. Trading under VWAP this late into the session can be a little tough. We would need to see that kind of that end of day rally start to kick in, and maybe it does happen. I wouldn't rule it out, especially leading into the New Year's. Maybe some people want to make a little extra coin. The street wants to make a little extra coin before they go and spend it all on Wall Street. So again, let's just be a little patient, hold our horses. Someone in the chat asked us to take a look at Tesla as well too. Same thing, kind of just trading with the overall market. As you can see, we had this really, really weak 5-minute opening range. Buyers pushed it all the way up to 428 and then decided to sell it all the way down with the inability to go and test this high, creating a new lower high on that front. Now breaking the 5-minute range, and then sure enough, we did break it eventually as well too after we failed to make a new high there, folks. So keep that in mind. The primary trend is to the downside, but you can catch some of this volatility on the pullbacks. The pullbacks are relatively deep as well too, so the opportunities are there, and that's something that you want to see in the overall market. So that not a horrible look on Tesla. And actually, let me zoom out a little bit here as well too, folks, and see what we got going on from a daily perspective. And we kind of broke some key support levels. Is there going to be more immediate downside? I don't know, potentially. If there is, so be it. We'll wait for those signals to show up, those turnaround signals to show up. We'll either be able to recognize that from a volume standpoint or have the ability to correlate volume and price at the same time. leaving us with an indecision candle kind of at an extreme low, and then that maybe can give us a little bit of a signal and when the price action is going to look to turn around again. But again, I think there's a lot of tailwinds for Tesla in 2025, especially with Robo coming out as well too, working along Donald that has the Doge going. So he's going to get what he needs to get done from a regulatory standpoint and get those robo-taxis on the road. And then sure enough, we know the bull of all bulls, Danny Ives, thinks that this thing can go add another $1 trillion to its market cap.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it apparently. Yeah, apparently. That's
but we're throwing around trillions easily now,
with the
man.
cheese, man. I mean,
like
you just throw 'em out like Broadcom.
Wow.
Apple, $5 trillion, Daniel Ives says.
That's nuts, bro. And it doesn't feel like it today, though, especially right now.
No, not right now. But by the end of, but he's like 12 to 18 months, $5 trillion. Yeah. Apple.
Well, we'll wait and see. I mean, look, let's call a spade, Joseph. People not talking well online about Apple Intelligence.
They don't like it?
No.
No?
Well, because the releases have been anemic.
Yeah.
You haven't got the big boy release yet. That's slated for next year. So what people have seen so far, it's unimpressive.
Yeah.
Ram, have you been using Apple Intelligence on your 16? She's not using it. You're not using it by design, or is it just not integrated enough to interest you? Okay. So can I repeat that? She's in her fight with her husband, and because he bought her the phone, she doesn't want to use it. This is the kind of person we have to deal with.
Oh my
I love
days.
This guy. I love how he's feeling everything right now because he knows he's been through that. He has to go through it. His face turning red.
Wow, that's crazy. All right.
Ram.
If anything, I would use it more.
Oh my God, look who it is in the chat.
who
The
is it?
Hayes Records. Where have you been, my man? We miss you around these parts. I haven't seen your beautiful face in a long time. Shout out to the Hayes. Happy New Year's as well. Neil, he's sending you a Happy New Year's as well, the Hayes Records. He's giving you one of these right back at you. Shout out to you, man. I haven't seen you in the chat in a hot minute. Nice to have you back, especially in the year. Hope you've had a fantastic whatever you've been doing for however you've been long.
But just to touch on this Apple subject one more time, we know that they're usually not the first to the dance, right?
No,
right? They're never.
Never, yeah.
But they always come out on top.
Yeah,
right.
They do. The issue, it comes back to a conversation I had with Satea, like I don't know, like a month ago, 2 months ago. Are you pro manager or pro founder / innovator? I.e., are you a Tim Cook kind of guy who can come in, didn't found the company, didn't come up with the product ideas, but a hell of a manager? Or are you more of a Zuck kind of guy? The guy who's willing to spend, take his company into debt, i.e. metaverse, and piss off shareholders to no end, right? And then have your stock go down to $88. Where do you fall? Manager or founder?
I think I would be more of the manager, right? Just, but again, founder as well too, or the Zuck example as well too, because I think you need to be innovative, right? You need to kind of test those things, because imagine if the metaverse was perceived from totally 180 degrees than what it was, right? So where would Zuck be other than him looking like an extreme genius and being one of the most successful people on the planet? Where would he be? He would be the top of the class. There'd be like, everybody doubted this guy. He pulled a rabbit out of the hat, and now look at the metaverse. But unfortunately, that's not the case. He's doing things, and he recuperated that with the year of efficiency, right? But again, I think you need a little bit of both. The combination of both of them would be good. But again, I mentioned that Apple usually not first to the dance.
No.
They tend to be they fashionably late, but end up being on top at the end of it anyway.
There you go. There you go. Well said, man. Yeah. Shout out to the Hayes. Anuvu, Happy New Year's to all of you. Great job as always. Shout out to Anuvu, one of the OGs in the chat. And I've seen him trade a small cap gapper too, so that's aces in my book, baby. The Spiled one chiming in over here. We have talked this before, but you can go over how you have your own colors set up your own level 2. What are we talking about here?
Maybe the gradient fill he's talking. The gradient fill on your level 2.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. If I can show the screen, Andre. Not the level 2, but the time and sales. So the time and sales is distinct in the sense that every color means something. The reason I've used this color code, it's a lot easier to see colors than to obviously read these small prints. So yellow means a mid print. It's neither high nor low. Red is selling at the bid. Blue is selling below the bid, okay? Green is buying at the ask, and orange is buying above the ask, and Apple just broke 250, and that is my invitation to get the hell out for the remaining piece that I've got. I only had one out left. Look, if this wants to reclaim 250 and then show me that it wants to hold that level, I'll get back in. But 250 on Apple break. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. And the reason I've done it that way is when there's aggressive selling, like when you see blue, or aggressive buying when you see orange, it's a lot easier to digest what's happening just by seeing colors flip in. And you, obviously, when you're trading these small cap gappers, it's really hard to read anything on the time and the sales, right? Because it's just moving so quickly. So you can kind of get the idea of what is happening just by the colors coming in. But when you're seeing umpteen amount of yellow, like we're seeing right now, it doesn't do you any good, right? So I hope that helps. And I'm always willing to obviously rehash that for you guys. Anytime you guys have questions about how I've set up or Joseph set up, we're more than willing to help out with that. All right, what else we got over here? What are people chatting about? Apple pressing 250, says Tyler B. Absolutely right on that. That's why I got out. Joseph, Birch Music. I use the tape for momentum trades. It is nice to see the tape go green as volume comes in. Absolutely, brother. It's a lot easier to see on that chain. On that look there. Esu Redmond, Happy New Year. Lost a lot, I guess, this year, my first year. Next year, green. Got a lot of work to do. Don't let that discourage you, my man. And Adara's giving you the clap up there. Let me tell you, persistence is absolutely a requirement in this game because you're not going to be good right away. And that's just
it's impossible. And Neil made a very key point as well too. Mental capital, right? Your first couple years, be prepared to spend a lot of it. It is not easy. There's no doubt about that. But just keep pushing, right? Just continue to get in that screen time. And sure enough, you'll find a system that works for you. And that's why we do the Playmaker poll, Shreve. Yeah. And that's why we were talking about it yesterday as well, too, because you collect data in that aspect, and then you can eliminate what's good and what's bad. But yeah, and just to touch a little bit back on the tape, everybody has it their own ways, but I mentioned this before on one of the sessions, and it really helped me. Find yourself a platform that allows you to go back to any certain day. So if you collect your data, journal your trades, you can now go back and watch the tape. And watch the tape of I mentioned this before, watch the tape of an extremely strong stock out of the first hour, then watch the tape on an extremely weak stock out of the first hour, and then watch the tape on index or stock that just moves essentially sideways for the hour. And then you'll be able to differentiate the difference in those price action movements. And I think that's really key. That really helped me, and it helps you depict exactly what you're looking for. So yeah, that's my two opinion. And someone said, "Oh boy." Yeah.
All right. I get it. The phrasing, I got it. Okay. Shout out to Scott H. Sharif. I'm long RVSN from 2. My only current trade. Happy New Year, guys. Joe, Neil, and Sharif. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Shout out to Scott H., one of the small cap gapper traders, OGs in the chat there. Let's have a look at RVSN and see what Scott's up to. He's long at $2. All right, so he's 17 pennies in the money. Shout out to my guy there, Scott. It's been a good move up lately for RVSN. Having a bit of a down day, though, below that 246 that we closed out yesterday. But it had a big boy day, especially yesterday. In the closing print, I want to say at 245, this thing really got going. Got off the schneid there, as my man Neil likes to say, at around that $1.80. $1.75, and by the time it was all done, it had hit that 2 3/4. But the aftermarket brought more gains for this bad boy as we got above $3. I think we got to about 317, 318 there. So we're well below the aftermarket high, and we're below the closing print from yesterday at that 250, 248. So this one looking to curl back up, Scott, but it's an inside day. So not necessarily a bad thing if you're looking to swing this, because you're neither lower nor higher than yesterday's extremes at the high and the low. So good look for RVSN. I'll keep an eye out on that one. BDMD is starting to put it, well, I don't want to say starting. It has been putting in lower highs, but it did find its footing at $5. And I was trying to look to see if I could weasel into this one. But now it's kind of doing this thing that sometimes small caps do, where it's not respecting VWAP at all. So it's above it for a little bit, then below it for a little bit, above it for a little bit. You guys get it. So I can't base anything here on VWAP anymore. We got to look to price action. And specifically here, I think it's the whole dollar levels that's acting as support and resistance. So we get that bounce off 5, a reject off 6. So we're kind of compressing here. If you look at the price action, if you use this as your area trough, well, we've got a higher low. And if you're using this as your area crest, well, we've obviously got lower highs. So it's compressing, it's up 450%. How does it resolve? Well, if you look at the textbooks, they say compression patterns typically resolve in the direction of the trend. You only need to look at the percentage up on the day to know what the trend is. But, you know, that ain't really my look. I don't mind, though, sitting towards that $5 area. Let's sit at 505s, see if we can pick up a scalp off there. I don't mind that either. So we'll look to get into something here. Not much happening, at least for me. I'm keeping an eye on these small cap gappers. Okay, Sissy has found its way to the sea. Hey, Neil, it's SISI. I'm making it up. It's halted. Homie's like, what you call me? All right, we're moving up here. We're going to halt, it looks like, at 538. This might be a false halt. SI, moving up. It's at the high of the day. It looks like it will halt at that 538. Still hasn't halted yet. Well, it is. Technically, it is halted, I believe. How come it's not showing me a halt? There we go. Now it's halted, 538. So finally we get some going here in small cap gapper world. We're going to keep an eye out on this one once it's open back for trading. Here are the details on it while we're waiting. $9.25 million market cap. We got 1.25 million shares traded on the day, which is nothing, but this one just started getting going right now. The float on this one, 6.2 million shares. And let's find out what the short float is here on Sissy. 15%. So that 15% of that 1.25 million shares borrowed for short, SISI. Do you know what the president of Egypt is called? El Sisi?
El Sisi?
Yeah,
No,
his name is Sisi, but you know, whatever. El Sisi. I don't even know what that means in Arabic. As everybody's name in Arabic means something. It can't just be like sounds, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
But
just can't be sound.
Yeah, it
just can't be
just
sounds. Yeah, Canadian names have zero meaning. I bet. Like,
no, but seriously, Cesar Sandoval, shout out to you. Sissy has resistance at the 100 SMA at 581. Let's see what our man Cesar is looking at there. I'm assuming, let's have a look here. 581. Let's go to the daily. Let's chart on the daily on this bad boy. Okay, so when's the last time I should say we were up here? Okay, right. I'm assuming you're looking at this candle, 581. He says, I don't know where you're seeing 581 there, Cesar, but it looks like they're all, you know, like look, these are all down days. Obviously, I would either use that 7 2/3 or I would use that $10 area. Let me know how you're seeing this, Cesar, because I don't see that same resistance area as you do. But it means tough guy, Joseph Birch, really? I don't think so. The incredible Mr. Lib. UK sympathy play to Sissy. All right, let's have a look at UK. Let's flip to the 5. What are you talking about, bro? There's like no volume here on UK.
There's no liquidity in that whatsoever.
No, not at all. I don't know if they're in the same industry or whatever, but the liquidity is kind of soft on this one. I'm going to keep my eye on our friend Sissy over here, see when this bad boy opens up. Let's load it up on a trading screen here so that we can get a better look at the level 2 and when this bad boy shut down. So it closed out at 1324.10. It looks like 1324.10. We're currently, the time is 1326, almost 1327.10. So we've got another couple of minutes on this one. I'm going to keep my eye out on it. The tap right now, the theoretical auction price, so we halted at 538, and the theoretical auction price is pretty much break even, 539 right now. So let's keep an eye out on that one. Still has a few minutes before it opens. All right, let's see what else people are talking about over here. What else we got over here?
Tanking,
Apple's tanking. It's giving up 250.
Wow.
That's no good. That's no good at all.
No.
Yeah, so definitely got out of that one in time, but should have probably seen the short there, Joseph, especially with that 10 exponential rejection on the 5. And you had the entire Mag 7 do the same look, but they're not at lows. Apple is the only one at lows. Good call. Well, actually, Google's at lows as well. But you have, for example, Tesla above the low, Amazon above the low, Meta, and I think Microsoft just printed the low as well. So it's Google, Microsoft, Apple, but definitely Apple looking like it is the weakest of the bunch right now.
Yeah, for sure. Someone in the chat mentioned RVSM. Were you trading this earlier today on the
Scott
session?
H.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he was.
Okay. You guys were just talking about. Okay, well, wake up, kid. But okay. So yeah, I mean, it is trading extremely well here, trading above the volume weighted average price. So just a little bit of an outlier to the overall market here. But if you guys see any relative strength, please let me know. Other than that, we got to go look at some of the top performing sectors to find something that may be relatively strong. And we've seen XLE from earlier, so if we want to look at a broader aspect and see all the top stocks in this basket here, we are starting to pull back towards the volume weighted average price. Surprisingly, and I wouldn't have expected this here from XLE, is that we came and we held the volume weighted average price, and then we made a new high of day there. So expect the unexpected, I guess I should say, in this game, and then everything should be kosher. But again, really nice look there on XLE. I don't know if there's going to be a play here. Potential double top here, Sharif. If we do decide that we want to break through the volume weighted average price, there can definitely be some more momentum to the downside here, especially if this 85.25 price target decides that it wants to get breached on the session. We only have about 2.5 hours left on the day. So again, momentum would have to step in. This market is extremely weak. Not the best thing that we would be looking for on this Tuesday, especially leading into the new year. But again, a lot of tax implications being foresought here. I'm pretty sure people trying to do some tax write-offs, et cetera, whatever it may be, offloading some shares. But I think that's more or less going to start in the new year. So we'll just continue to see what's going on with this market. If these mega cap tech stocks can decide that they want to continue to the southeast, then all you can look to do is participate. You don't want to fight these guys, especially you got individuals like NVDA. I don't know why I call them individual, but I mean, the stock NVDA, if it wants to break this low, 134, definitely going to be some more downside. The volume is starting to cool off a bit here, guys, so just keep that in mind as well, too. Looking for anything with relative strength, guys. Let me know in the chat what you are looking at. Does NASDAQ close tonight for New Year's, or is it open in? Well, I mean, it closes the futures. I'm not too sure. That's something you would have to ask Sharif, but I think they close at 8 o'clock. If I had the futures. Tonight, 6? Is it 6? Is it 6? Okay, so yeah, 6 o'clock. Blue Ocean, I think, closes at 8 o'clock or something along the.
Yeah, the equities will actually go for longer than the futures.
Oh yeah, does it? Oh, okay, okay, but the futures open up on Sunday at.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay.
Well, in this case, like New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. Oh, okay, yeah. So then at whatever time. Maybe not. Does it close? Yeah, that's a good question. Hey, that's a good question. Maybe we hop on Blue Ocean later if we really want to get some trading going. But yeah, guys, I don't have anything lined up as of right now. I'm going to be a little bit patient. I'm not, like, again, you can see that I'm looking for longs on these. So as of right now, I can't look to participate. I don't want to short the bottoms either, just in case we do decide that we want to rebound as well, too. So stuck in between a rock and a hard place at this point. Can't really complain, though, because we had two half-decent trades. We took the NVDA, and then we had the PLTR as well too, got stopped out of that. And I wish I was monitoring this a little bit more because we did break that level and then headed to the south side. So again, we had those multiple tests. We did have this squeeze here that I'm gonna call this just a pure liquidity grab before it decided it wanted to go and test the lows of days. So again, just something that you need to monitor, and that's why it's important to kind of just hop out when your thesis is wrong, because another opportunity is going to arise. It's maybe not that your thesis was completely wrong, it's just that your timing is off, and that's one of the hardest things in the market is getting that timing right. So that's why you want to give yourself those ability to just either size into a trade that will allow you to kind of be able to sit out those volatility and those liquidity grabs and then get the move that you're looking for, or just punch out, reassess the situation, sit on your hands a little bit, wait for the setup to pull up again, and then that's when you take those second or third entries, all right? So just keep that in mind. But as of right now, guys, let's take a look at some of the top volume stocks again. RGTI still sitting at the top of its class here with 101 million shares. And then we have NVIDIA as well, too, about 90 million shares traded on the session, with Tesla a cool 46 million. So as this thing started to appreciate in price, the volume slowly started to dwindle on this thing here because it is obviously becoming more expensive. So let's pull up a Tesla chart from a daily perspective and see what the volume by time analysis is telling us here. So again, I mean, it's pretty steady though. Okay, I can't really say that, so maybe I have to eat my words on that one. But again, Tesla's starting to pick up some volatility, heading to the downside, breaking some key support levels. I do think there's going to be some more downside on this thing before we go and push for that $500 price target. Yeah, guys, continue to let me know. The market does not close early today, Mohammed. It closes at 4 o'clock as usual, all right? And so buy 5 guys gains was over 7 Gs today. All right, nice. Nice look. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name. Why'll get how to videos. 7 Gs today. We'll take it.
Dang.
Drinks on you. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And yes, the market closes at 4 p.m., folks. What do you got going on there, Shreve?
I'm just watching Sissy down halt now
all
at
right.
4 2/3, halted at 465, still above the 10 exponential, still above VWAP, not involved in it. Gonna pack my patience. I want to see what it does, but I want to talk a little bit about Tesla. And so we all know, in 25 we are expecting the new Model Y. We know the Model Y, one of the best-selling cars in the world. And this is what's being floated right now as the new look for the Juniper. That is what the Model Y, the new Model Y, is codenamed right now, Juniper, not Jupiter. And it's expected to have very similar interior, obviously, to the Model 3. So you'll lose the steering wheel spokes. You'll have a bigger screen, but you'll have lighting, excellent interior lighting, and you also get the the light bar at the back there. That's
I like these light bars.
Yeah, become like a very EV thing. Both in the front and the back. We don't know if this is the actual going to be the actual look being speculated right now. I don't know why this thing has Chinese plates on it, but yeah, obviously they have a Shanghai facility. They're going to be probably building them out there. They build the Model Y out in Shanghai as well. So this is a Juniper, expected to be released in the first half of 2025. You got to assume, this moves the needle a little bit here with respect to deliveries. I mean, I personally know that I like the Model Y, don't get me wrong, but it has been a bit dated. We've been seeing it on the road now for about 5 years, and it is time for a change, especially with the amount of Model Ys we see. I don't know in the States, but you can't see enough of them over here. There's so many. So the Juniper expected in 2025. This could be one of the tailwinds, obviously, that Tesla catches. In addition to the many other tailwinds, it has. Eric McCambly says it looks like trash. I respect your opinion, brother. Like, hey, you don't like it, you don't like it. RJ McFly, light bars, cool. Go, Juniper. Or I don't know if you're trolling or you're serious. Such a plain-looking car, says TX Trader. Yeah, you know how Elon does, bro. He likes that minimalist look, and he won't be sold on otherwise. So.
How do you think the Cybertruck is going to affect Tesla deliveries? Is that a positive thing?
You want some heat?
Yeah, I want some heat, man.
Okay. Well, the heat is that the Cybertruck now is outselling the Ford F-150 Lightning.
No way.
Lightning.
Oh, the light. Okay. Whoa, well, all right. Yeah, all right.
Can you imagine?
Come on, that would be crazy. America's most sold truck is the F-150.
Well, it's outselling the Lightning now, and like Ford.
Isn't the Lightning discontinued now too?
No, they've lowered production amounts, but no, but not discontinued yet. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about that. What are other people saying over here? They're already building 600 Junipers a day in Shanghai, says Mile High Miles. Good, thank you for that. Like, I didn't have that actual piece of data. Our friend, obviously, everybody knows him, who watches the show, Randy, he's involved in an invite-only Reddit or subreddit, and he gets a lot of information from people that are working on the production line in Tesla who give that kind of information anonymously. So we haven't had Randy around lately, Joseph, but we got to pay some bills.
We got to pay some bills, guys. eSignal. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to an elite trading experience. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Foresee profitable opportunities with the platform you need. Infinite data, instant trading. Know where the market is moving before others with lightning-fast data. Charts that change the game. Customize and analyze markets faster your way. Better backtesting and scanning. Predict the future by understanding the past. Reliable, real-time data, up-to-the-second market info from hundreds of global markets. Everything you need all in one place. Don't miss a beat. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description, folks. It's right there, eSignal. Scan that QR code if you're looking to trade harder, not smart, or smarter and harder.
Ian Gardner, I'm a big Tesla fan. I'm also a truck guy. However, The Cybertruck might be the ugliest El Camino reboot ever. Best comment in the chat today. Do you like the El Camino?
You'd have to pull up a picture here.
Yeah, it's like an old 70s or 80s, like it's a sedan pickup truck.
Okay.
El Camino. There, I don't even know how to spell it. Yeah, there it is. Let me show you. El Camino car. I don't even think I'm spelling it right.
See, this
this
is my.
There she is.
And you know what, Sharif? This is my beef. I asked you about this not too long ago. All right. So you ready for this here? Okay. Are you ready for this? I don't know. I don't know if we were ready to. If I'm allowed to do this. This is Bing. This is Bing here, right? Look how much more entertaining this is than the Google thing that you just pulled up.
Bro, what a tangent. We're talking about the El Camino.
Yeah, but never mind the El Camino. Look at Bing here now. Look how boring that was, that what you just pulled up. You just had to type it.
The search results.
Pardon me?
The search results are not.
That car because it wasn't like
The El Camino?
Yeah, it wasn't hydraulics. Dude.
If you don't see an El Camino on hydraulics, have you really seen an El Camino? Get it, Neil. Yeah. Neil's doing his best El Camino front seat bound. No, but shout out to Mark Susi as well, who sent me this. He told me, look up Tesla Redwood. This is the rumored EV.
Sick.
Now, I think this is what we called the Model Q not that long ago. This is slated to be that Model 2, Model Q, whatever you want to call it, Redwood. Now, this looks awfully close. To that Robo EV. Probably, Randy's not here, but there's a good chance that those share the same chassis. Yeah. And that obviously reduces cost. We're expecting that as well. In case you're wondering what we're talking about, Tesla.
Why? Why though?
Tesla expected to drop a cheaper EV than the Model 3 in 25 as well, in addition, obviously, to the Juniper or to the Model Y refresh. So, yeah, that's some of the stuff we got over here. We never really know what it looks like until we find out, obviously, in IRL. So we'll keep, like, Ram's talking smack about it. She's like, it looks just like that, just like the, what's it called? The Croc there. Big smile.
Yeah, Croc, man. That's a Yeezy, man. Come on.
Oh. Sorry.
Dog.
I encourage all to remember one thing for 2025. Pigs get fat. Hogs get slaughtered. Put that money in your pocket. Keep it classy, Trader TV. Well said, Big Smile. Well said. Kind of crude, but well said. All right, guys. Somebody must have a Google put. Oh, you're getting called out, Joe?
You know, actually, hold on, time out. Google's the second largest holding in my account. Right? So but I just want to be, who hit that?
I hit that Katina
Man. I'm like, where's Katina Man? Where is this guy? But I mean, come on, like, look at the differences there. You get news articles, you have Copilot right beside it as well, too. What is that, Sundar? Come on.
Throwing it on him, bro. Yeah. No, but seriously, though, look, I've been a Google critic as well, man. And quite frankly, when I use the search engine, which is very seldomly now, because I'm always in ChatGPT. Anything ChatGPT. When I do use search, like I told you, one of my browsers at home, for whatever reason, dude, it's like programmed onto Yahoo, despite the fact that I keep changing it. It keeps going back to Yahoo.
Yeah.
Hot trash.
Hot trash. All right.
Like, Google's much better. Guys, second down halt here on Sissy. It's breaking down below 4, and it's below VWAP. Kind of what I expected there. Not really interested in trading this. But I see a new small cap gapper that has emerged onto the scene. COEP halted to the upside. This one can't seem to stay open, though. So I'm unlikely to be involved in this one. But let's have a look at what it's doing at the moment. COEP is the ticker. And it's, as I see it here, on the 4th up halt. Like, this is quite aggressive, despite the fact that it can't seem to stay open. Let's flip to the 1. Yep. So first halt was 10 minutes. You had a 5. Then you had a few here, a couple of 5-minute halts. We're currently involved in the 3rd minute of this halt. COEP. Let me throw that ticker on there super quick. So this one, obviously, I don't really like trading these ones that halt to no end, but the higher low, higher high situation is continuing, whether it's halting or not, up 28%. This company, I don't even have information on this company. So, yeah, Coeptis Therapeutics holding. I don't have any other information more than that. Not a float, not company description, nothing. So we'll keep tabs on it. But if it's not gonna stay open, then definitely not interested in it. Gotham House, Co-EP did a reverse split today. Let me just have a look at my blotter. I'm not seeing that, but thank you for letting me know. Let me see if it shows up here on the daily chart, because my charts usually show me when the reverse split. You're absolutely right. 1-20 split. Shout out to Gotham House for that fact right there. You get a 1-20 there, so probably to gain compliance back with the NASDAQ requirements of that minimum $1. So again, not much for me to trade, not really much going on at the moment other than, you know, the future continuing to tank. It looks like Apple is working its way back into that $250 area, but this time from the south side. So do we now use 250 as resistance? Here it is. We're now 250 on Apple, rejecting. There's some size there. Nothing really that moves the needle, though, as this one works its way right back into the 10 exponential. But last time, it worked its way into the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. I'm talking about Apple. It rejected it, and it gave you like over $1 of a move. In fact, it looks like it was from that 250.75 to that 249.43. So well over $1 move there off the top, off that rejection of the 10 exponential. Christian Morphin, Rigetti bouncing. Let's have a look at Rigetti. My arms are spaghetti. All right, let's have a look. Okay, down 5%, but back above 16 bucks. Okay, let's look at the 5-minute here on Rigetti just to kind of get an idea. It looks like it does have support at that $16 area. Last time we were below 16 bucks at around 11:30. We did bounce and move into almost 17, right back into that low. Let's see if it's able to recover off that level. We'll talk more about that when we get back from Adair at the Big Desk.
Let's look a little bit more into Go EV, which is Canoe, because I was curious here when we heard about that split. So the split actually took place on December 24th, so about a week ago. The reason I bring this up today, too, because I knew we had talked about this earlier today, it was actually on the upgrades and downgrades. Stifle downgraded the Canoe this morning to hold, dropping their price target from $4.50 to 50 cents. So GOEV was quite the bearish catalyst today. And again, that reverse split, which happened last week, is worth noting too. They have a 14.3% short float with a float of 4.5 million shares. Sorry. So GOEV, that's just some details on that stock. Back to you.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, man. Just Joseph and I talking about it, guys. I want to say something here real quick. You know that you've been on the show for how long now?
I started, I think, in somewhat September. Yeah, September. It's been a while.
Wow, man,
yeah.
that time flies, man. And I just want to say, obviously, with the year ending and stuff like that, it's great to have you on, brother. You've been a sick addition to the Midday. I think people love the options take, obviously, that you bring every day and the lessons that you drop. So I just wanted to let you know, man, you've been a great addition. And
oh man, don't make me tear up. Don't make me tear up there, man.
Yeah, so throw ones for my man Joey Options there in the chat, guys. Obviously, love having him on. He was a trader in the back. I didn't even know him. I just saw that he gymmed.
You just gymmed.
That was it. That was it. That's all I needed.
Yeah, you gave me one of your protein bars there. Yeah, it's like, hey, you look like you go to the gym. No, but again, those kind words, man. We were just talking. I honestly couldn't be more thankful to get the opportunity to sit beside somebody as knowledgeable as you. And when you just kind of associate yourself with individuals like Adair, who's extremely smart, Sharif, Neil, Sean, Obi, and everybody in the production, it just makes you want to be a better person too, and just kind of stay within that healthy competitive landscape. Because I like having these conversations with Sharif, right? So I always watch CNBC too when I was trading at home on my own, and I kind of registered stuff. But now that we engage in it more, it's like, okay, I want to know a little bit more, because the man sitting beside me, his knowledge base is so vast, and it's like, oh wow, okay, I want to catch up. So no, man, it's really I couldn't be more thankful is what I can say.
We love having that. I love that attitude, man. You're getting a lot of love in the chat, as I'm sure you already know. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for the kind response. Shout out to Juan Wick, $2 super chat. Whoa.
What is that? What does that mean?
That's Obi. What are you doing, Obi?
Why are we on Obi?
Who is that good-looking gentleman there, man? That's Bogdanov. I used to have Bogdanov's thing over here. I think I removed. Oh, it's Kathy Wood now.
No.
Aw. Shout out to
call me back.
Juan Wick. This is a great show. Respect your whole staff. Thank you very much, man. I really do appreciate that. Shout out to 4XEU. I see you, sir.
Yeah, we see you,
And he's sending you the love as well. Shout out to my Bogdanov. Why does he look like that?
Why is his face like a lot of plastic surgery, eh?
Have you seen? Eh? It's a. Oh, you can't just drop lies like that.
What did he say?
I don't even want to repeat
we
it.
can't repeat that? All right, yeah.
Mark Susi, you were an awesome leader on the show. Guide the flow. Well done. And stay humble. I appreciate you, man. Very, very kind words from you guys. I do appreciate you guys. No question about it.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, we couldn't be more thankful. That's all I can say. I don't have the vocabulary to kind of expand on how thankful and grateful it is to be able to sit beside these type of individuals. There's no doubt about
Great ad, man. I just want to obviously mention that because I really haven't given you a shout out. Obviously, for being on the show.
Need a shout out, man.
Right, so let's keep an eye out on these mag, man. I mean, everything is down into the right now. I think Apple could be an interesting short again here. Back into that 250 area. Now, it did have a lot of trouble with the 10 exponential previously. So I'm really interested if Apple does reject that 250. I don't need to be first. What I personally would be waiting for is either, number one, a move into the 20 exponential at around 250 and a quarter, and then a rejection, or rejecting the 10 and then making the first 5-minute candle to make a new low. So I'd be definitely interested in that. But Apple reclaiming 250 right now with a 4-candle green setup, but still well below these technical areas of resistance. So I'm going to wait for them to come in, and then we'll see if we can get anything in there. Yeah, we've been looking at 21,200 all day, Joseph. We could have a double bottom on our hands right now at 21.2. We initially got into 21.2 at around 12.30, 12.45. We did bounce off that level, and then right back again we go into 21.2, or in 21,204, and we're defending that level. We're certainly not above this area crest over here at 21,340. But if we could bounce, well, what great setup would it be if we had actually a double bottom off which to gauge the entry? So I'm packing my patience over here. There's only 11 minutes left on the show before we send you over to the big kahunas, but I'm going to be looking at Apple over here and generally the Mag 7 to see if we do get that bounce off 21,200. Keep an eye out on that. Kanye East. Joe, Sharif, Happy New Year's, bro. See you next year. Be safe, my man.
Yeah, be safe,
hope
my
you
guy.
have a fantastic time for whatever you're doing, tonight. And just be safe so you can obviously come back and we can see you again.
Uber, or what's the other one there? Lyft. Just be safe.
Or Waymo.
Yeah, or Waymo. Now,
Yeah, if you're in the Waymo City,
if
right?
you're in the West Coast, you could take Waymo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, watch out for the robots though. Those things here and there. You don't
We
want
saw
to
what happened there with that fridge. That poor fridge, bro. Eric, great show. Happy New Year's. And plus, Bing still sucks. Yes, Eric. I like you more now, my friend. Bing does suck.
So you guys, all right, I see how it is.
I'm playing, bro. No, I've got no issues with Bing. It's not good.
It has Copilot right there, though.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Google's incorporating Gemini now.
Is it? Okay,
yeah,
well,
pretty sure it is.
all right.
What else, you guys? Jose Perez, we appreciate you, my man. Compelled Cat gift some members. I don't know if we can. I can send you some. I never use any of my points. Big Spile just gifted me a whole bunch the other day. So I don't mind throwing those around.
What?
Hey?
Points for Spile points?
Yeah, you know that I can send you points. Like every time you engage in the chat, you rack up points.
Oh, yeah?
You can duel with people. You can kind of do stuff with the points. Yeah. So let me see. I don't know if I can duel you right now. I don't even know how to do it.
What does the duel consist of, though?
Joe, I don't know. We could Streamlabs does something or another. Let's see if it works. I don't know if it works.
What is duel?
There it is. Neil Roberts just gave 1,000 points to Compel Cat because we are a community. Neil's dropping the cash in the chat. Bears versus Bull just gifted me 50. Okay, I appreciate you. Bears versus Bulls, brother. How do I accept
Streamlabs?
get it automatically.
It says this, but Kyle Burdett wants to duel me for 5K points. Hey, I'm the most competitive person on the planet.
Exclamation point accept.
Exclamation point accept. Let's go. We're riding now. Am I dueling?
There you go. What do you got?
What do we got to do
Kyle
here?
always wins, apparently, according to
Brenda
Neil.
wins.
Let's see what we got over here. So who won? Street Joe.
Oh, I'm 1,600 points short, man.
Sorry, brother.
Insufficient funds.
All right.
Man.
There we go. To duel others, exclamation point duel at username. Okay. I'm going to duel Big Spile over here. Let's bring in the chat.
Revenge me, man.
Everybody can watch along what we're doing. Here we go. So we're going to duel at Kyle Burdett. There we go. Come on, Kyle.
Let's
Let's
go.
see
let's
what
go.
we've got over
Come
here.
on, Kyle.
Okay, so he just gifted you 5,000 points,
Did
by
he
the
give
way.
me?
Yeah.
All right,
He just
my
gifted
guy.
you 5,000 your way right
But he
there,
called me
okay.
a brokey first.
All right, so here we go. He called you a brokey. I don't know what's not. Oh, I won?
You won?
B3,
So that's it. We don't
you
get to play a
no,
game or
lost
anything
50
like
points.
that?
There we go. I still haven't gotten anything over here. Joe W wants to duel you for 100 points. You can hit accept or deny. So I did it for Big Spile. Big Spile still hasn't responded. Duel, 5,000 points. Absolutely. Accept. Let's see if this works. Come on now. Come on now. How do I get points? LOL. You keep spelling duel. I'm writing it as D-U-A-L instead of D-U-E-L. I suck.
No,
I'm an
it's
idiot. I was about to
Canadian.
use a word that would get me banned, but I'm not going to do that. So let's do it again, Big Spile. I hit accept.
Hey,
So
I'm getting a lot of gifts here, though. I'm getting a lot of points here. How can I spend these?
duel. Here we go. Accept. Are you actually?
Yeah, like Forex, my guy just gave me 10K. I got a bunch of other ones. So where do I, like, what can I buy?
Well, I don't know what you
Nothing,
can get with it,
no,
but you can
all
just
right.
float, I guess. I don't
All right,
know.
yeah.
what to tell you.
Kyle, I'm no longer a brokey, so how does that
There you
feel?
go, Big
Yeah,
Spile.
Exactly.
There is clapping for you, okay? They're in the chat. You happy, guys, now?
Yeah.
All right, I didn't say the other one. All right, so here we go. So Apple is rejecting that 250 area, Joseph, kind of like what we anticipated. There was my Apple screen at. I've kind of lost it.
How did we even get to
here we
duel?
go.
Like,
Let's just go back into Apple super quick because this could be interesting here. 250 rejection, topping tail into that 20 exponential. It breaches the 10. It kind of works up into that 20. We haven't made a newer low previous to the candle that closed at 145, but we're awfully close, and we're below that area of 250 right now. So this could be another drop down here as the future doesn't continue up off its 21,200 bounce. And it looks like most of the Mag 7s right now are pushing back into lows. So this could be another interesting short on Apple. Now, I think you've got an area crest off which to work. So if you're a short Apple at these levels, personally, I put my stop above that 250, 20 area, 250 and a fifth, because that's the area crest. We couldn't print anything higher than that on Apple, so my stop would go there, but I'm not going to get short right now as we have to. Well, we only got 5 minutes left on the show, and I don't want to be nursing this trade while I'm at the green screen, so that is the look there. Shout out to Fat Figga chiming in the chat there. I remember that conversation. He said, yeah, you do remember that, huh? Yeah, I only got dinged for that once, but that's it's all good there. All right. I haven't got any of the responses to my duels, but I don't know why. In any event, whatever.
I'm over the duels. No, I have no idea what's going on. So I haven't
gotten any of the results yet. Right?
I know I lost one to Bear Bulls.
Bears versus
I didn't have. I was a
Bulls.
brokey before I could face Kyle. So.
All right. What do you got over there, Joe?
I'm just saying thank you. CJ's forum. I'm so sick, and you guys are giving me the giggles. I can't laugh or I'll cough my guts out. Thank you. We don't want that. It's unfortunate. Maybe some tequila will help you feel a little bit better. I know a nice shot of rum or tequila will warm the body. So
there you go.
Get involved in that maybe, and then you can get the 150.
Hit them with the 151.
151
Okay.
rum. Yeah, all right. That's been a minute. Is that the 60 proof stuff? That is hefty. You won't eat 151. Huh? Okay. All right. All right, so yeah, we're gonna avoid the 151 at all costs today. But guys, yeah, PLTR. As you can see, the momentum and the volume is really, really starting to dwindle here, folks. So again, just starting to move kind of sideways here in this price action. So we're going to continue to monitor this, folks. Again, like a lot of people are kind of just tuning out now. It's 2 o'clock. I know that in America it isn't a holiday, but I know a lot of people in the city here in Toronto aren't working, especially with the anticipation of this evening. So again, just sit tight with us. Enjoy the latter half there with Neil and Obi, because they're going to be putting on some stellar trades as always, and dropping knowledge as always too. So guys, stay tuned for them, because there's a lot more to go. And then you got the imbalance as well too that a lot of people are looking forward to. But let's take a look at RGTI, the top volume stock of the session. We're going to zoom in here to the 5-minute chart. And just continuing to move to the south side What was the high of day? They're sitting around 1801 as a high of day. So nothing crazy, totally healthy. I mentioned this before. We're okay. That's about 12% on the day. Not that's a tough look, but I think that can be recovered relatively quickly, especially with the past sessions that it's been on. This thing has been moving fantastic. So good look there on RGTI, folks. And I mean, the mega techs are continuing to move lower. We were talking about Google earlier. And I know Danny Ives loves Google as well as Tom Lee as well. I love Google. I think this company is extremely hard to beat. We got Gemini, they have YouTube, they have Waymo, and so much more. This company, I think, is going to be at the top of its class. And I don't think it's at a $2 trillion market cap just yet, but I think it's only a matter of time until it does sit around there. And I think this thing is going to be top of its class. I know they're having a lot of issues kind of with everybody in management there and Gemini being what they would call a woke or whatever, but things are starting to get cleaned up here. So I think it's a matter of time. Google's going to start picking up steam, and I know that it's from a PE standpoint, it's still relatively cheap to the stock. So I mean, to the street. Sorry. So sitting around at 23 times forward earnings, which is fantastic. So again, relatively cheap. I think that it's only a matter of time until Google can hold that $200 price target and continue to move to the northeast. This is definitely a stock. I'll pull it up one more time that you just buy dips on because they always recover. So I think this company is extremely hard to beat. Top of their class. Yeah. Just buy any dip on Google, and I think sure enough, in the long run, you're going to be doing fairly pretty. So yeah, that's my.
I just want to hear what everybody's going to be drinking tonight.
Ooh.
So throw that in the chat because I've got my drink set up. I want to know what everybody's.
What do you got going?
All right, so I don't have too many of these.
Okay.
But we're going to pull out the blue label today.
The blue, whoa, okay.
So we're doing whiskey today.
Okay.
I've had this bottle
the blue
5 years.
No
and I sip
way.
on it every New Year's. I'll take a little bit of it.
Okay.
I'm not a big drinker anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know what you guys are drinking today. Throw it in the chat. You guys are whiskey. Are you guys doing wine? You guys doing coolers?
Water. Ramin said water.
Well, certain people will not be engaging in alcohol drinking for obvious reasons. And that's completely respectable. I want to know what everybody's going to have tonight, guys. H2O only, says Rogelio.
I like that.
My man Jamlock, he's got his champagne case. He's got water and weed. Shout out to you, my man Miguel. He's got his beer. And then 3 years sober. Shout out to my man.
There you go.
Momo there. Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah.
We got dubs and dollars. He's got beer when it's near and brandy when it's handy. I love this. You're getting the money spin for that.
Let's go.
These are
Brandy
fantastic. Mary S. Live is drinking water. She's like, can't drink at the moment. Shout out to you. Respect that. Absolutely. Got Blantos Bourbon. Loving it, bro. You got Johnson Thames, who's going to have a fat blunt. Okay. That's legal on this side. I don't know about you guys.
Man.
That's legal over
we
here.
go get that at the store if we really wanted to.
There you go.
Right, so.
What else we got? We got Ron Zacapa rum. Okay. Neil said... We got some in the office, apparently, says Neil.
Office. Oh.
Hey? It's the Kraken. All right. So we've got the Kraken. Not the crack. We've got the Kraken.
Tail sicker. Never heard of that.
Jack and Coke, says Wop Pounder. You got Shenanigans, who's going to be downing some Henny tonight,
Hey,
baby.
bang. All right.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Hot dog water, says
Oh my God, that is so disgusting.
That is nasty, bro.
Oh my. Okay, so short.
Bowl tears? Bowl tears. Oh, come on. He's like, look at the market. I'm gonna be having a whole bowl of tears.
I used to work with these individuals from Newfoundland who would crack the small, those hot dogs in the can, and then drink the water.
No.
Barf. Yeah. The most disgusting stuff ever. Yeah. Totally barf, guys. Totally barf. But one thing I wanted to do with my guy Sharif here, since we were talking about drinks and it's 2 o'clock, Sharif, this is your shot at tequila here, all right? So this is what we're gonna do heading off into the New Year's. We're gonna do a quick cheers. We're gonna repeat after me, all right?
Okay.
So I'm not above you. Are you ready?
I'm not above you.
I'm not below you.
I'm not below you.
I'm right here with you.
I'm right here.
Cheers. Hey, bang. And that's it. And there we go.
That.
There we go, folks.
That's bad luck, says Ray, but I have.
Why is that bad? Why is that bad luck?
We didn't drink anything after.
Oh, okay. Well, we just drink here. I got some cranberry juice. We'll take a sip of.
There we go. All right.
And there we go.
All right, guys.
We broke the curse.
See you Thursday.
There we go.
Same bat time, same bat channel. We're wishing you the happiest of New Year's from the Trader TV family. From us to you guys. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Take it over, Big Kahuna.
Much love.
Well done, well done.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that got, oh my goodness, I'm still seeing some things in the chat as everyone's rolling over.
Yeah, I gotta pull up the chat right now.
Yeah, you
the new
can't
chat.
read, some of those are going to